going on, everybody? I've got my shirt over my face because the world is dying. Tony's got the anonymous mask on because the world is dying. That's what's going on. Hey, how you doing, everybody? This is episode 61 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit in the coronavirus era. We're watching Back to the Future tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not dead yet. Oh. Unbelievable. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Are you watching the news? Get away from the television. Just get away from the television. Am I right or am I right? Tony, how are you doing down there south of the border? It's just as fucked up here.
I'm alive. We're all alive. We're doing our thing, you know?
We're alive. That's the most important thing. We are alive, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Todd Fair rips one right out of the gate. Sends in a super chat, says, hey, Dave, what do you think of the movie Halloween 2018? Just kidding. I just wanted to say hello. I love you, Todd. I love this man. Look at that. He spends $20 just to do that. Todd is the man, folks. Hey, this is episode 61 of Two Dudes, and so it's a little too early, I think, for the... I have so many coronavirus jokes, but it's a little too early for that. Yeah, we're watching Back to the... We just did this a couple of nights ago, watching Friday the 13th, Part 2. Yeah. Tonight, we're watching Back to the Future, the original Back to the Future. Tony, how are you doing down there in Atlanta, Georgia?
Dude, I've got pretty much everything stocked. I'm good till like the summer, except toilet paper. Toilet paper is going to be my only challenge. But yeah, I mean, dude, being a health nut, and pre-planning meals like a month in advance and whatnot. I mean, I have enough water to last me a lifetime, and Gatorade and all that stuff. So I was pretty good there. Just did, the canned food thing like everybody else is. And now just kind of trying to sneak around and, see if I can get into a shop and just like grab like 24 rolls of TP. I never thought I'd have to ninja myself through a store to find toilet paper in my lifetime. Like of all things that I thought I would be doing in my life, that was like not even on the radar.
No, I understand. I understand. It's hysteria. And it's, I remember SARS, right? You remember SARS?
Vague memory. I remember about it, but like vague memory.
Yeah, it was about 2003. And after
9/11, I remember that.
Yeah. And it was a similar, well, SARS was also a coronavirus. Like apparently coronavirus is the name of a section or like a specific type of, and then you go in and you have like the specific codes and things like that. So anyway, I remember SARS and it was a big thing. It doesn't appear to be as big as this thing, but then again, it was before the social media era, and
MySpace was just around.
I don't really consider MySpace social. I mean, it was the beginning of it, but I'm talking like real, like full-fledged, right? Yeah. And I remember that. I mean, it was, a thing where, hey, be careful, wash your hands, wear your masks. I remember being downtown Toronto and seeing people in masks and things like that, but not to the level this is. And I'm not saying it's not serious. I cannot help but watch this and think, holy gee, like they're shutting down, like the mayor here, as of 12:01 a.m. tonight, all bars, restaurants, and whatever, in Toronto are to be shut down. And then the transit, of course, the subways and the streetcars and what I think they're running on like a holiday schedule or something, which is like every, not so often. And I'm just thinking, this, like, it's like you'd think Godzilla was attacking Tokyo. It's like, it's unbelievable. And again, I'm not saying it's not serious. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But I just think it's like, let's just take a breather for a moment here. Like, let's just relax. Like, there's no need to. I mean, people at the grocery store. Yeah, fucking. It's like, holy Jesus! Literally. It's like, really, really.
Yeah, I mean, if you read you know, if it is serious in the sense, if you read how this virus is affecting elderly people,
100%.
It's 100%. Not, and people who have a weakened immune system. I posted that today on Instagram, a little clip of me running. I said, you want to know how to, you know, give yourself 100% confidence that you're going to be okay with this? Build your immune system up, you know, walking, running, whatever it is you need to do, take your vitamins and eat right. That's literally it. I mean, really, you know, keep yourself clean and build your immune system up and you're going to be fine. It's those who have a weakened immune system, who don't take care of themselves and who are elderly, that this thing is going, like any virus, you know what I mean?
Of course.
If you have a weak immune system to begin with, it's going to hit you, and it's going to hit you hard. It is.
It's funny. Was it the governor of New York, I guess, said something like, try to limit your, of course, now there's this new buzzword that's out there now, right? Social distancing. It's social distancing. They've said that about as many times as they said the word terror. Well, yeah, and it was like, you know, way back in the day, it was terrorism, you know, now it's social distancing, like every 5 seconds somebody's saying social distancing. And I'm not saying it's not a good thing to do, but now I think
maybe it might level out on some of the insanity that's been going on the last few years.
Let's hope so. But
like, there could be a silver lining with all this shit.
It's what's funny about it, though, is I was saying to my girlfriend, I said, you know, what's funny is that now they're like, you know, try to limit your, you know, self to 250 people or less. And then it was 100 people or less. And then it was 50 people or less. And now it's 10 people or less. And I'm thinking, what is it going to be? Just lock yourself in your bathroom and, you know, and just sit on the toilet for, you know, the next 6 months. I mean, like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell are we supposed to do? Just sit there. We're all with beards, with all this hair growing off our faces.
Don't knock the beard.
No, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, like, we have all this hair, but it's just crazy. Just crazy.
It's funny. I told my buddy Devin this. I was like, so wait, I got to change it from -5 people that I try to associate with on a daily basis to nothing.
That's right. That's right.
And socializing to begin with. But no, you know what? This is a good talk about a good timing to like watch this. You know, Back to the Future is just one of those. It's just a good feel good movie. It's one of it's not a perfect film, but it's as close to perfect as you're gonna get. And when you're in situations like this and going through, you know, craziness. In fact, I remember when 9/11 happened, and this was one of the first films that I watched within, like, I want to say within 24 hours after of being, you know, watching the 9/11, you know, stuff that was going on and and the news coverage. And it's just one of those movies that it's such a feel good movie that you totally can get lost in and just escape the bullshit of reality. And it's easily one of my top 10 favorite films of all time.
It's one of the greatest adventure films ever made. I mean, period. And we're going to watch it tonight. Folks, if you want to watch Back to the Future with us, 1985, celebrating its 35th anniversary this year. Hard to believe. I saw this in the drive-in back in 1985.
I saw it in the theater. I didn't see it in the drive-in. Yeah, drive-ins were still a thing in the 80s.
They were.
They were still kicking.
And that was when I
saw it in the theater.
You had to listen with the speaker like hooked to your window. It was before, you know, you could hear, you know,
now,
on the radio.
This, waitress drive-in, or did you have to go to concession drive-in?
This was concession drive-in.
Concession drive-in. Okay.
Yeah.
The only drive-in we had in Connecticut was a waitress drive-in, where the waitress would come up to your car.
That's cool.
You know, whatever. It was, but you couldn't really make out with your girl because you knew your waitress was going to come up soon and be like, "Oh, hey."
Or you do it anyway if you're exhibitionists. All right, folks.
Where's your girl? He's nowhere.
All right, so we are.
I hope everyone in the chat is 18 and older.
If you want to watch along with us, you can do so. Let me see here.
You mean tell me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
I did. We are paused at the just before the Universal logo is about to pop up. So I'm watching it digitally. It's 3 seconds in. So let's do this, man. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, Universal's starting to come around now. This is it, folks. This is it. Chat room open throughout the next couple hours here as we hammer down episode 61 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. And now another Universal logo is coming up, the old school one.
Oh, you're at that? I'm at the Back to the Future sign.
Uh-oh.
We must be watching 2 different adaptations. So I'll wait for you to get to me.
Yeah.
Tell me when you're at the clock.
At the clock? Okay.
Yeah, where it says about to hit 8:55.
Okay. Steven Spielberg presents.
Oh, yeah. We're definitely watching 2 different versions.
A Robert Zemeckis film. I think you were at the other Universal logo.
No, the first one. I think we're just watching 2 different versions.
Back to the Future. Now I'm there.
Okay. Tell me when you're at the clock, when it's coming in.
And I'm at the clock now.
All right. Now we're good.
Okay.
Are you watching the...
starring Michael J. Fox.
Apple iTunes?
No.
That's the version I'm watching.
Oh, that's the version you're watching. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Christopher Lloyd, Marty, 753.
1.21?
1.21 gigawatts.
God, there's so many great lines from this movie.
Oh, there are. Oh, there we go. Wow, I can see. Holy snapping crap, folks. Holy snapping crap. Aaron White says, I missed part 1 in theaters, but saw part 2 and 3 in the theater. The part 2 cliffhanger made me so crazy. Ooh,
crazy. This is heavy. There you go. What does he say? What is Doc rebuttal? Marty says this is heavy, and he says something about the Doc.
Something like he's like heavy. Why is everything so heavy in the future?
Something like that. Yeah.
Is there something wrong with the Earth's gravitational pull?
Yeah,
that's what he says. Something wrong with the Earth's gravitational pull? It's a great line.
I just love looking at all those old 80s tech.
Oh, yeah. It's funny. You feel like you're looking at, but actually this one was, when this was released in 1985, I mean, seeing these things like the coffee maker and all that, it was normal.
It was normal.
That was just normal. What it was.
Normal, yeah, to us.
Same with this TV right here.
That's our upbringing. That's our tech.
Yeah.
You know?
This TV was just, that's just
we
the
had
TV.
one of those in my room.
For sure.
And then I kind of made a makeshift editing studio in my basement with that television.
Very cool.
Very very
editing VCR to VCR.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And I had a second small monitor where I can tweak the coloring and all that stuff like that to see that kind of visual.
I like it.
Yeah, it was, I MacGyvered the shit out of that.
Just a little bit of light. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Michael J. Fox. Wayne Downey says, watching it on DVD.
Good shit.
Digital versatile disc. That's what that
Dean Cundy, director of photography.
Yes, that's correct, folks. We often forget Dean Cundy did all 3 Back to the Future movies.
Yeah. Good old Halloween alum.
Yep.
You seen the can drop into the thing?
Can just drop into the thing. Michael J. Fox is walking through the door now.
There, them Nikes and the skateboard.
Yep.
Talk about inspiring a generation of skaters. He definitely did. Even Tony Hawk talks about how this inspired him a lot to really up his skating.
Oh, interesting.
And he was skating at the time because he was doing a lot of I forgot what the term is for what they call for his skating. But anyways, he said that Back to the Future heavily inspired him and a lot of other skaters.
Interesting. Yeah. I didn't know that. Get that thing up. There we go. I like this. Yeah, he's turning it all the way up. It's great. Mandel Goodman says, have you seen Back to the Futures 2 and 3? Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. I saw 2 and 3 in the theater. Well, I don't know if I saw 2 in the theater. I saw 3. I could
say that this might have been the first trilogy movie I've ever saw.
Because Star Wars was for me.
I didn't see all 3 Star Wars films before I saw all 3 of these. The last Star Wars movie for me to watch was Empire Strikes Back, and that might have been 1990-ish. So it depends on when 3 came out, because I saw all 3 of these in theater.
3 came out in 90.
So yeah, it's a timing thing. I think it's like close. I can't remember which one I saw, but this may have been the first trilogy film that I ever saw.
The first trilogy I ever saw was either Star Wars or Indiana Jones.
Okay.
One of the 2 there. I actually watched Temple of Doom last night.
Rock and roll.
I fucking love Temple of Doom. You are in a position unsuitable to give orders. Let her go, Molaram. Why does Indiana Jones sound like he's 90? Let her go.
I still wear aviators to this day.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. I had a nice blue pair, or like a pair with blue lenses that I left actually in Los Angeles when I was there. It pissed me off. I got them at Santa Monica Pier too. They were nice. And of course, as we know, they shot like a quarter of this movie with another actor.
Oh, Eric Stoltz.
That's right. That's right. And he just wasn't, there was nothing wrong with him per se.
I've seen the footage, but it would have been a totally different movie.
100%. I'm
not a bad thing, but just different.
When I meant nothing wrong with him, I meant like, it's not like it was personal, right? It was just that he just was miscast. He just wasn't sort of what they were going for. And sometimes those things happen.
It's hard to picture anybody but Michael J. Fox playing Marty McFly.
Now it is. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes those things happen though. Like, I mean, I was at a voiceover session it was just last summer. It was when I was doing all the spots for all the back to school spots for Staples. And I was the announcer. So I was on every spot. And then they would bring, here's Huey Lewis in the news though. Love it. And so I was on every spot, but they would bring in other, VO actors to play, the mom or the dad or, the little girl going back to school or, whatever it is. Right. And there was this kid that came in probably about 16, 17. And we were recording with him and he was, there was some trouble. And it's not personal. It's just the casting director wasn't, now he was cast, right? So there must have been something that they liked in his demo or, whatever it was, or maybe even an audition. I'm not sure how he was cast.
And even Christopher Lloyd said he was fine. That he thought, did a great job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, but I remember they brought the kid in and they were trying to do it, but the kid, he was let go and they brought somebody else in. So even in the world of voiceover, it happens. And I'm sitting there and
of course we know the Jennifer scenario.
That's right. Well, yeah.
The second film.
Yeah. It's too
bad
now,
she had a personal thing, right? Something like she had to take care of her mom or something.
Something like that.
Like
there was something like that.
It wasn't they didn't want to bring her back. There was something that happened to her, which is why they brought in obviously Elizabeth Shue to play Jennifer in the last two movies.
That's right.
And although really the last movie, she's barely in it, but like
she's barely in it. Yeah.
Her mother died. Yes, thank you,
died.
Because I didn't care about the two Jennifers. Did you? Like, I thought Elizabeth Shue did a good job picking up, where this girl left off for the obvious, factor of her mom, the actress's mother.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought she was fine. I mean, whatever. Whenever I see this guy here, Strickland, I think of I love how close he gets and he touches nose with him. Yeah. Watch this. It's fantastic. It's like fucking. It's like right there. You know what I mean? And of course, there's
mask on.
There's Huey from Huey Lewis in the News himself. Huey is the auditioner, I guess we could say. But whenever I see Strickland, I think of these movies, and I think of Masters of the Universe.
Really,
he was in Masters of the Universe too.
Shit out of Hong Kong. Top Gun. I always picture him talking to Maverick.
Top Gun. Yeah. Top Gun. I don't think of Top Gun all that often.
Who's up
I love
there?
how he's
Maverick
playing.
And Goose. God damn it, Maverick and Goose.
Yeah, I love how he's playing Huey's song here too. And then Huey's like, all right, enough.
Now, don't kid you folks. Michael can play. I mean, he legit can play.
Oh, he can.
In fact, Coldplay did Johnny Be Good within the last 5 years at a concert. And I saw that video on YouTube where Michael came on stage and just wailed out Johnny Be Good with Coldplay, which was really cool to see.
Even now with Parkinson's?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, it's within the last 5 years.
I'll have to look that up.
He made an appearance at a Coldplay concert.
I'll have to look that up. Jennifer's cute. She's cute here. This actress is cute. Yep. For sure. Got to send it into the record company.
Small gripping that board, man. Someone should have told them about that. That's a no-no with skaters. You do not maul grip.
Oh. What if they say I'm no good? Because you're fucking not. Now, Blu-ray Addict says, I only watched the first Matrix. Oh, all right. Yeah. He's talking to somebody else. That's why. Robert Kitzmiller says, Tom Holland has voiced that he wants to play Marty McFly in Back to the Future Remake. No, Robert, that's not the story. The story is, as I understand it, that there were some discussions that if they if hypothetically there was a Back to the Future remake with Tom Holland, and he's like, yeah, that might be something I might be interested in. But it's gone no further than that because Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, I believe, still own the rights to it. And there will not be a Back to the Future remake until both of them are dead. Now, both of them are well into their 60s, early 70s, so that might be sooner rather than later, but not for the foreseeable future. No. I think it was more along the lines, Tom Holland has that, hey, what's going on, Marty McFly vibe. He's got that young kid, child, boyish charm kind of thing that Michael J. Fox has. But let's not forget, Michael J. Fox here is well into his mid-20s. He's not actually the 17-year-old he's playing. He's like 25 or 26 here, I believe. So, or 20, I think he was born in 61. Maybe he was born. Hey, Google, what year was Michael J. Fox born? I think it was 61.
Michael J. Fox was born on June 9th, 1961.
Yeah, 1961. So he's 24.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's Family Ties at this point because he had to do Family Ties and this simultaneously.
That's right. He would record. Yes. He'd bounce back and forth. And of course, he also did Teen Wolf as well, which came out in 85.
That's right. He was a busy man in 1985.
He was a hot commodity back then, man. But he's got that you look at Tom Holland and you can see why.
Sure, they both have that boyish,
right,
right.
Really, but there wasn't anything serious, that like a serious discussion. It was more of just kind of a, hey, this might be kind of, hey, that might be kind of, and then of course somebody did the deep fake, right, which sort of sparked a whole new thing. But there's never been serious discussions about it because they can't. The rights are locked up,
and it just. The problem with doing it, even if it was Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland, which they're great as Iron Man and Spider-Man, okay, and in the MCU, we have yet to see them in anything else. You can't say just because of how their portrayal of Iron Man and Spider-Man was and working, in the MCU, their chemistry would be the same in another movie because it's an entirely different, vibe.
Yeah.
And now Back to the Future, regardless, they are going to be compared, and it's like almost impossible. You're not going to live up to the original. You know what I mean?
What you have to do, like when you're remaking a classic like Back to the Future, if you are doing something like that, you really got to just... You have to really make it almost a different movie, in the sense where it can stand on its own. Yeah. It's a remake, but it can stand on its own. Like there have been many remakes throughout the years that you're like, oh, that's like we would know it was a remake, obviously, but so not so close, like do something a bit different, maybe.
And I even posted on my Instagram story about this. I was just talking about, forgot how it came up, but we were talking about Nightmare on Elm Street. And I said, and just right off the top of my head, I was like, what really Elm Street should do is take a page out of Lionsgate and what Lionsgate did with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Jessica Biel. They kept the arc of the story, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the same, but they changed the family. They sort of changed the characters. It wasn't exactly the same. It was the same amount of group, but different types of arcs. And I was like, Nightmare on Elm Street should do the same thing. You don't need to bring back Nancy Thompson. We've seen the Nancy Thompson storyline. You can start it from scratch and tell a brand new fucking story.
Yeah,
but keeping the arc of Freddy Krueger pretty much the same, but new Elm Street kids and go at it from a different approach, and that would be successful. And people might not do the comparison so much, which is why I think the remake they did with Jessica Biel is well liked by a lot of horror fans. You know what I mean?
Right. I understand that.
It didn't go beat for beat for what Tobe Hooper did, and it still felt like Texas Chainsaw. And I think if Nightmare took that same approach, it might do well.
It's not.
And Back to the Future, same thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. I love.
Crispin's great.
Oh, and I love the guy who plays Biff too. I keep forgetting his name.
1 year after Friday 4?
Yes. Butthead. Come here, Butthead. Think, McFly. Think. You know what I wanted to do when I forget the actor's name now. The chat room will let me know. But the guy who plays Biff, he was going to be coming to I think it was Fan Expo last year here in Toronto, and I was gonna go because I wanted to go and meet him, and I wanted him to put me in a headlock and like get it on camera, put me in a headlock and like hit my head going, "Think, McRae, think." That's what I want him to. But then he canceled, and he didn't. He had to back out for whatever reason, because that would have been a great video to have. Think, McRae, think. And he seems like the kind of guy that would totally do it. Like he's very, very outgoing, very sort of much like he's very much like Robert Englund in the sense that he talks a lot, and he's very very extroverted.
What's that guy's name that plays Jimmy Olsen in Superman, and he also plays Michael's brother in this?
I can't remember.
I can't remember his name. I just remember from him this, and he's Jimmy Olsen in Superman.
I love Crispin Glover's laugh.
Yeah, he's great.
He's great.
It's too bad they did what they did. You know, really is too bad they did what they did.
Super chat, Big G, Claudia Wells, Jennifer, mother had cancer. There you go, Claudia Wells. Did she go off to do anything else, Claudia Wells? I think she must have done something. Look at his family. Eh? They're all just hideous.
What's her name? Leah Thompson. I mean, she's close to Michael's age in real life.
Oh, yeah, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
So good. I mean, the makeup job they did on her is really good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, she looks good. Look at his sister.
Jimmy. Thanks, Robert.
Look at his sister. That's fucking horrible. That's why I have to laugh for the rest of the show.
Is that what he's watching?
What's that?
Watching is that what Marty's George watching, and that's making him laugh? Honeymooners, right?
Oh, I think it's the Honeymooners. Yeah, the Honeymooners is great. I love the Honeymooners.
Oh yeah,
that's a great show. Yeah.
And you know, they only filmed that for like 1 year.
Yeah. They had like, I think they had like
shows of all time.
It was, they had like how many episodes? Like 30 or something?
Barely 30.
Something like that.
Jackie Gleason.
Yeah, I love Jackie Gleason. It was hilarious.
Boy, talk about product placement too in this film. There are a lot of product placement in this film.
Oh yeah, definitely. Jason Knight says, "Hey everyone, hope everyone is staying safe." We are, Jason. We're staying safe. Locked up. We're all locked up. His family. Yeah, there it is. They did him up well too. But what I love about this is the extreme nature they take Michael's family, or Marty's family, excuse me, and because he's clearly he stands out as being normal because his family's so eccentric. You know, his parents are so weird, and his dad's like, "What the hell is this?" Right? On purpose, obviously, right? It's like it's satire. It's a cartoon. It's like a cartoon version of a family that would be like that. So it's just kind of funny.
Because of this movie, for the rest of the 80s and into maybe early 90s, I did the suspenders thing over the shirt with the jeans.
Really?
Because Marty did it. Wow. I noticed that when this movie came out.
Because of this movie.
Saw Marty doing that within a short time frame. A lot of guys were doing the same thing in school. And then guys would be changing it up. One would have like one strap down, one strap up. One would have two straps down and whatnot. Right. But yeah, most of my grammar school and early junior high year, the suspenders are out with the shirt. I shaved my head and dyed my hair white. No. Here comes the DeLorean. And the DeLorean, for those of you that don't know, was a real car, and it failed though, right? It was a failed sort of it wasn't on the market for very long, I don't think. Well, arguably, if it's not because of this movie, it's one of the most iconic cars in cinema. If it's not the most, it's one of. You know, I would put 100%. The Ghostbuster car up there with the DeLorean. Ghostbusters, the original Batmobile. The original 1960s. You're talking about the Adam West one, right? Yep. And I would put Tim Burton's Batmobile in there too, because it's a very iconic car. When you see that Black Beauty on the road, it's a pretty car to look at. But this, DeLorean. I think, it's got that edge. The DeLorean just has it, and there he is. Yep. Christopher Lloyd. Actually, the funny thing, Christopher Lloyd is playing the age Doc in this movie, how old he is now. Pretty much, yeah. Oh, yes. He was only in his 40s here. Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing somebody like in his 60s.
Mid 60s or
Actually, a bit younger than what he is now. But yeah, Todd Fayer sends another generous super chat. Thank you, Todd. Says, hey, Tony, I finally looked at your Instagram page, and you take some very good and cool pictures. Very impressed.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great photos. Eric Olson says, hey, guys, what's your favorite moment in the movie?
Damn. I mean, there's so many great lines that that are coming up. It's hard to really pinpoint one,
I kind of like, it's not a moment, but it's sort of like, I like when he first goes back to 1955.
And he sees the 50s.
Yeah, and that's about to happen here in a few moments. But it's like, I don't know. It's just like, imagine that. Imagine being like, what the fuck? And walking around and like everything is like, just, it would be so weird. And I love like when those things are illustrated visually in movies. I love that kind of thing. I love time travel films that are, now this is obviously a little, tongue in cheek. Obviously it's not like watching a serious drama or epic, but it's just, I like that kind of thing. It's kind of like just living vicariously through the character and be like, what the hell?
You're going to see some serious shit.
You're going to see some serious shit. And you know what? I just found out like not too long ago that this is green screened or blue screened, I should say.
Blue screened.
Yeah. It looks so good.
It does.
It looks so good. I'll tell you, it's one.
It's too bad they've gone backwards with that in technology.
Yeah. When they go through them, when the car goes through them and the fire goes like through them and they turn around and they look, it's a blue screen behind them. I think anyway, I'm pretty sure like that, like there, I'm pretty sure they're out in the park.
I love Doc's look when Marty starts to move away. He's like, hey, get your ass back here.
I know.
Man up.
Oh yeah.
Einstein's like, hey.
Yeah. This right here, this coming up. Here we go. Einstein's 88 miles per hour. He's going and right there, that's blue screen all around them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And now they're back to the cut, to the real location.
Yeah. Just that one shot.
I would say my favorite.
Now they're actually out there.
My favorite moment would be the 1.21 gigawatt scene, and Marty's like, "What the hell is a gigawatt?"
Yeah, that's right. Know? That's right.
Like that whole. It's such a great scene, great lines. I remember, me and my buddies shouting that out in the hallways of school. 1.21. Yeah,
1.21 gigawatts. I do like the line you brought it up earlier. Heavy. Why is everything so heavy in the future? Right. Is there something wrong with the Earth's gravitational pull?
That's the thing with Back to the Future, man. You can quote lines and everyone's going to know immediately what you're talking about. You know what I mean?
I think I'm just going to start saying that now. Whenever anybody says heavy, I'm like, heavy? Why is everything so heavy? Is there something wrong with the Earth's gravitational pull or something? Of course, this movie was directed by Robert Zemeckis, who directed all three Back to the Future movies. Prior to this movie, he directed Romancing the Stone, which sort of
Bobby Z.
Yeah, which put him on the map. He also directed Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and of course,
I forget he did that.
Yeah, he did Forrest Gump, and also did, of course, Castaway and What Lies Beneath. He's one of the elite directors. Very well accomplished. Yeah. It's too bad he doesn't do more. He's sort of
see. I will be impressed one day when these guys who have the DeLorean, okay, like I see them out there and whatnot, and they bring them to the car shows. I'm going to be impressed when I see a DeLorean pull up to a car show inside a Dr. Emmett Brown. Inside of a Dr. Emmett Brown truck. I've yet to see that combo.
That's true. I wonder why.
I don't know. I mean, you would think you've gone this far with the DeLorean to get it. And you bring it to sometimes when I see these guys bring it to the car show, they're not driving it. They're bringing it on a trailer.
Right.
I have yet to see someone bring it on a trailer inside a Doc Emmett Brown truck. You would think like that would be the logic thing to do.
Yes, that would be cool. Jason JV sends in a super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, hey, guys, Biff Tannen was played by Thomas F. That's Wilson. Right. That's right. Tom Wilson. That's right.
Yep.
Thanks, buddy.
Butthead.
21, one, take one. Hey, Doc. What are you doing, Doc?
Dude, you know, him playing these lines, All right, let's do it. You know it. We all know it.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, hold on, I need a bump. All right, let's go.
Let's go.
It was the 80s,
1985, going back to 1950. See, if they made a one now, which obviously, again, they can't because of the rights thing, but if they made one now, it would be like 2020 and they'd go back to 1990.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
That's what you do.
That is true.
That's what you
going
do.
back to 30 years ago, it'd be 1990.
Yep. We were alive.
Vanilla Ice was on the brink of becoming huge.
Boom, boom. Yeah.
And when I say huge, man, y'all don't understand. That dude was like on another level huge.
Huge. Remember the
and there was no social media, and that dude was just you go into every girl's bedroom. There he was.
Yep. Remember the role he had in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze?
Go, ninja, go.
Go, ninja, go, ninja, go. Turtle. Or was that Ninja?
I wouldn't mind doing that
rap,
one night on
Ninja,
Two Dudes.
Ninja, rap.
Do the original Ninja Turtle movie, not the sequel, but the original would be fun to do.
The original's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's actually it's a pretty good movie.
I like it.
Yeah, I love all the practical effects and the way the turtles look and everything. By the time they got to the third part, their eyes were animated and they had teeth.
Yeah.
They had teeth and everything. It was like, what the fuck is this shit? Get that shit out of there. I didn't like that at all. R says, you guys ever notice Back to the Future kind of predicts 9/11? Well,
I have seen with the twin pines and the
mall
thing. Yeah.
Look,
the Simpsons have pretty much predicted everything.
Well, and the Simpsons thing with Donald Trump, I mean, I know there was an episode where he was president, but that thing where they had him coming down to the escalator and all that, like he actually did. No, that was made after. It was made specifically for that. That was not in an episode from like 30 years ago or whatever. Look, I mean, it's not that there isn't something to it. I'm not saying that, but you can find anything in everything.
Coincidence.
It's creepy coincidences. But the thing is that how many other movies out there could you analyze and find the same things? Right? Probably quite a few if you were looking for it. And we tend to focus on the things that it's like we tend to focus on all the times that something happens, but yet we forget to focus on all the times it also doesn't happen. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's because when something does happen, it's really noticeable, but we forget, oh yeah, but there's like 500,000 other times where it doesn't. So it's just, I don't think there's anything to it. I think it's just, I mean, I could watch a couple of movies and I could watch a bunch of movies and pretty sure I could pick out certain things that you could totally paint a picture to. It's like people who I don't know. In some cases, it's like finding shapes in the clouds.
That's right. I
It's
the
like
DeLorean. The trunk is in the front. Got the junk in the front.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Toronto Freddy says, "All right, stop, collaborate, and listen. Ice is back with a brand new edition, cooking MCs like a pound of bacon.
Burning them. I get quick and nimble. I go crazy when I hear a cymbal and a hi hat."
With a souped up tempo.
I'm on a roll. Time to go solo.
Rolling.
In my 5.0 with my rag top down so my hair can blow. Girlie's on a standby, waving to say hi. I just drove by, kept on. Pursuing to the next block.
He's going.
Left and I'm heading to the next block. The block was dead, so I continue to A1A, Beachfront Avenue. Girls were hot, wearing less than bikinis. Rockman lovers, driving in bikinis. Jealous, cause I'm out getting mine. Shade with the gauge and vanilla with a 9. Yeah, vanilla with a 9. What's a 9? It's a gun.
Jason Ike says, I remember in 1985 seeing the movie poster in the newspaper. In the 80s, they would have the movie posters in the newspaper as the entertainment section. Yep, that's right. Oh, yeah. They did that all the way up really right until the end of the 90s, really. And then when the internet really started to become a real useful... Oh, well, I think they still do. I think if you were to pick up a newspaper today, and there's not too many of them around anymore, but if you do and go to I think you might be able to still see them.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, it's not their form of marketing anymore. No. Super chat from Big G. Dave, you missed my super chats. I missed your super chats?
Did you?
I got the Biff. Biff character is based on Donald Trump. No, I didn't. I didn't get the Biff character is based on Donald Trump.
Well, it wouldn't have been the 85 Donald Trump because that was a totally different type of Donald Trump in 85.
Yeah, no, in 89 I could see. Yeah, in part 2, not the Biff character. The Biff character wasn't based on Donald Trump. It's the alternate reality 1985 character that's based on Donald Trump, right? Because Biff's Biff, right?
Right.
But when in Back to the Future Part 2, he goes back to an alternate 1985 when Biff runs had that Biff big tower. That Biff actually, yes, has some. I remember Robert Zemeckis talking about sort of using Donald Trump as kind of like an inspiration for that.
Yeah.
But Biff, the character himself, is not based on. Yeah, or at all is not based on it. It's just that specific version of Biff.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Biff in 1955, Biff here, and it's not Donald Trump. And then you had another one in there, Big G. I got the Claudia Wells one. I got that one. I said that earlier. And that's all I see there, man. So I think I just missed one. It was just one I missed. Chris Parrish says, Einstein the dog was originally a chimp.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think I did hear something about that.
Okay.
Yeah, originally they wanted it to be a chimp. Alan Silvestri did the music for the Back to the Future films. So we're at the scene now. We are... We are 31 minutes and 50 seconds into the movie, and Michael J. Fox, Marty McFly, is in the car. He's hitting 88 miles per hour to escape the Libyan terrorists, and there he goes. Oh, he's back at 1955, running through a scarecrow. Yeah, there he goes.
Into
right into a barn. Yep. Right there, folks. Right there. Imagine being able to do that. Go back to
looks like every house in Georgia. Really
that's
like
true.
Every house I photographed in Georgia.
True. Yeah, that's true. Big G says, "Who is the bigger asshole, Trump or Biff Alt 85?"
Oh,
I'd say Biff Alt 85.
He's
although
like Donald Trump on steroids.
yeah, it's a caricature version, you know.
Yeah.
Tales from
outer space. Yeah.
Ooh. And you would be like that in 1955. You're like, what the fuck is this?
For sure.
Of course, it's played up. You know, again, it's it's like a cartoon, but it's fun. It's fun. Michael J. Fox. Poor Michael J. Fox, man. What a fucking shitty card to be dealt.
Yep.
So young too. He was only 30.
I've said this many times. We are just long overdue for a good Michael J. Fox movie. You know,
Michael J. Fox movie. John Candy. Fuck. Yeah. Sorry about your barn dog. Big G says, Dave, stop touching your face. Coronavirus. Oh, I can touch my face because I've washed my I had a shower. I got back from a run. I had a shower, so I'll touch my face all I want. Corona. There we go. It's as if I'm out and about in public touching handles and doors. Then I should wait till I wash my hands before I touch my face.
Exactly.
But if you're at home and you've just got out of the shower, fuck that. I'll pick my nose if you guys want me to. You know, grab on yourself, yeah. We should do Teen Wolf one night. That'd be fun. I like Teen Wolf. I love this moment where here's a moment that I like where he gets out and he's like, oh my God, that's my neighborhood. It's not even built yet. Like,
that
what the
surreal
fuck?
Moment.
That would be so creepy. Like, you're out there and it's just like,
you're like, this is home, but it's not home.
It's not. It's just what the fuck? And if his neighborhood isn't built, like, it's not like they would just build a neighborhood out in the middle of nowhere. Look at how vast everything is around him.
Yep.
So they would have, like, everything would be not there. Like, just insane. I love that. The car and everything.
Don't stop.
I love that. Don't stop, Wilbert. Don't stop till you get enough. Keep up. Thunderknock Studios. Hey, JP, my man, says, hey, Dave and Tony. How's it going, buddy? Folks, I'll be talking about it tomorrow because I'm doing an all Halloween episode tomorrow because it's my 31st episode of McRae Live. But folks, if you guys want to see, Thunderknock Studios has just released their Halloween fan film entitled Halloween Night, and it is up on Thunderknock Studios YouTube page now. Head over there and take a look. I'm going to watch it tonight and then give you my thoughts on tomorrow's show, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to open the show talking about that. So, yeah, head over there and support Thunderknock Studios and their fan film Halloween Night. It's not easy making movies, guys. It ain't easy making movies, man. And, you know, support independent filmmaking. And by all accounts, it looks like they've done a really good job. So I'm excited to see what's all involved.
Was it like a 20, 30-minute film?
It's a 60-minute movie.
Wow, man. You're like, dude, when you're that close, just go for the full feature. You know what I mean? If you're going to commit to 60, that's my opinion. If you're going to do 60, man, just you're talking another 25 minutes or so.
Well,
you know,
if the story, you know, justified it, I guess. Sure. Yeah.
But you're like really right there, you know?
Yeah.
Be curious to know what his budget was for the 60-minute.
I don't know. Toronto Freddy says, Michael J. Fox was recently in a time travel movie on Netflix called See You Yesterday. Really? I'll have to check that out. I'm going to watch that. It's me. It's Marty.
It's amazing that this is a studio backlot.
Yes,
I thought this was a town, but it's not. It's a studio backlot.
It's Universal Studios in Hollywood.
Nope.
Yeah. And I think this was Torched in the Fire. Remember about 10 years or so ago, there was a fire there, and I think they lost some of this. That was a very suspicious fire. That was fucking weird. But yes, this is the Universal backlot. Because look, you can see in the background, you can see the hills, the California hills. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is Universal backlot. I've been there to Universal, not obviously to here, but I've been on their backlot tour and went by where this would have been. Robert Thinoff sends a super chat, says, what movie location to visit is on your bucket list? I visited Shawshank Beach in St. Croix in 2018. Oh,
nice.
Yes. I don't know. Halloween I've crossed off multiple times.
I like to go to New Jersey and see the filming location for the first Friday.
Yep, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I've been to part 2's filming because I grew up in Connecticut. And obviously I've been to part 6 plenty of times. I'm there all the time shooting.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I've been to the Amityville house. I actually just shared a photo of that I took a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I've been there a couple times and seen that house. I've actually seen it remodeled twice. Let's see where, but though they didn't film there, so that's actually just I've been to the real location. They didn't film the movie there though.
Right. That's a good question. I don't know.
I've been to the real Conjuring house. Again, it's not the filming location, but I've been to the Perrin farmhouse in Rhode Island.
Right.
The Conjuring is based on. You know, the thing is that I'm in Atlanta and the Avengers is filmed here. And I know I've walked up and down streets where battles have happened. So it's like, I don't know, Walking Dead is filmed here. Like so much stuff is filmed here. It's like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Stranger Things is filmed here. Like I'm always around filming locations.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, it's like, but as far as like ones that personally for me that I would like to go and visit.
I love this. I'm talking to you, Irish, but it's like, Dad, what the fuck? Think, McFly, thanks. This is what I wanted him to do to me.
And the crazy thing is Crispin and Michael J. Fox, they literally look like they're the same age.
Here, well, they almost are, aren't they? Crispin Glover was born in 1964, so he's actually younger. He's 21. He's younger.
He plays his dad, and he's younger than him. That's crazy.
Yeah, 3 years. Yep, by 3 years, folks.
But he actually looks older than Michael J. Fox in this movie. He does
Yes.
even at this version of him, he looks older than Michael J. Fox.
It's his bone structure.
Yeah.
It's his bone structure. Oh, McFly, your shoes on the. I love that. It's so fun. It's such like a. He's like, can I help you? Says that in a second here because he's noticing you staring at him.
The thing is, like, I have no desire to go to California, and the problem is if I ever want to see the Halloween filming location, I got to go to California.
Got to go to California.
That's the problem.
Got to go to
no
California.
desire to go
Well, maybe
there.
something will bring you out there, and then you kill a couple of birds with one stone, kind of thing.
That's true. That's true.
Say, why do you let those boys push you around?
Future mayor.
Come on, Mayor. Mayor. Yeah, that's right. I like that. Mayor.
Eric Olson. Hey, guys. Super chat. What is your favorite movie moment from the movie?
I answered that already, Eric. I did get this super chat. Or unless somebody else asked it.
I think someone else asked it. He's just asking
somebody else.
Again.
Oh, okay, okay. I don't know if I have a one moment. It's like Tony. It's a compilation of things.
Yeah. You can start with his broom.
Yeah, that's right. Good. Big G says D&T, Lorraine or Jennifer? Who is the hottest? Lorraine.
Leah Thompson, man. It's just back in the 80s.
Yeah, Leah Thompson
was on point.
Yeah. I think Jennifer is kind of cute though.
She is. No doubt. But Leah.
I think she's more my type because she's more of a brunette. Although no, Leah Thompson's.
No, Leah Thompson's.
Leah Thompson.
Jennifer's more like blondish, lighter.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
This almost looks like the streets of Haddonfield.
I'm telling you, well, that's because of practice. I'm telling you, this is exactly what the streets in California, certain sections of LA.
It literally looks like it's Haddonfield. Like I'm looking at Haddonfield.
Yeah. That's because this is what LA looks like.
The same.
Yeah.
Was it filmed close? Were the two movies filmed close to each other?
I don't know. I'm not sure. It's definitely shot in LA.
Yeah. But
they're doing a good job of hiding palm trees. Yeah. Yeah, like that looks like, I've been down many streets that look like that.
I feel like the Doyle house is going to pop up somewhere.
Right.
You know?
Right there. Because he fell from the tree, pushing his dad out of the way, he changed everything.
Now we have an alternate universe.
Yeah. Stella! I love this. Another one of those damn kids.
Which iconic movie is that line from? Said by which iconic actor?
Well, it's what's his face, Brando, and it's is a Streetcar Named Desire.
There you go.
That's right.
Yeah, Bill Ray Attic, the Karate Kid commentary that is my favorite movie of all time. That would be good to do before season 3.
That'd be good to do. When does season 3 of Cobra Kai come out?
Well, I think May. I think they're still on track because they finished production before everybody started shutting down. So,
okay.
Yeah, that would be good to do right before the week before.
Weird.
You're my
mom.
She's hot.
Mom.
She is hot.
Do you remember when
Lorraine Bates?
Remember in part 2 when he goes back to the alternate 85 or 55
so
or whatever? Yeah. She's got the big boobs and everything.
May
so silly. So silly.
So maybe in May we'll do the Karate Kid.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Really,
I like how she calls him Calvin because of
his underwear,
the stitching or whatever.
Well, I think that was a common thing back in the 50s that mothers did that. They stitched not just in their underwear, but I think in their clothes. I think parents stitched their kids' names in their clothes. I think that was a very common thing back then.
Yeah. I guess they call you Cal. You're my mom. Nice to meet you, Cal.
Marty.
How old is she now? She's got to be in her late 50s.
It still looks good. I saw the reunion here not too long ago.
Yes,
within the last 2 years.
Yep, I saw that. Oh, I just got an email from my insurance company. Hub, it says internet as the COVID-19 action plan. I'll have to read that later. Great. I wonder what they're talking about. Put your pants back on.
Oh, I love how they think he's a Navy person too, because he's wearing a poofy vest.
Oh no, they think he's he jumped ship.
Jumped ship, yeah, because he's
they think it's a life vest,
right? Which is crazy because that's a style that's still in style. Guys,
right?
I still wear that.
Yeah, yep.
Not too often in Georgia, but there's some days I get to pull. I get to throw a poofy vest on.
Yeah, Get used to the bars, kids. Like, this is what I've always often wondered,
Kevin Arnold's brother.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He plays Lorraine's younger brother, or younger brothers.
Wouldn't, when Marty goes to the future again, or to his present time, wouldn't his grandparents have a memory of him?
Of this? Yeah. I know.
It's kind of like, wouldn't his
parents have a memory of this?
Yeah. I don't know how that works, unless I'm missing something.
I've never figured that part out. Like, how do they forget the events that happened in their interaction with this young boy named Marty back in 1955? And oh, by the way, you just happen to look like that guy.
That's right. I mean? That's right.
Hollywood, Just gotta suspend your disbelief.
Suspend your disbelief for a little bit. I love when he's like, "Hey, I've seen this one." What do you mean you've seen this one?
It's a rerun. What the hell's a rerun?
Yep. Yeah, because then they didn't have that.
No.
I think you might. I think maybe you do. I think maybe you do. I think they handled this well, though. Like, in terms of it being his mother, and she's obviously attracted to him, but they handled it tastefully. Like, there's a few little awkward moments, but it's played for laughs, and that's what I think that's what makes it work. Because not that he ever would have been attracted to her, obviously, because it's his mother, but if they had gone like a little too far, or it could have gone really awkward and weird, but it's that nice little sort of balance, and it's played for jokes, and he's really creeped out, by it, which helps make it seem a little more maybe plausible or acceptable, I guess. Like right there, she puts his hand on his leg. He's like, "Oh, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here."
Right.
It's kind of funny.
His reaction, that weird, like, "Yeah, you're my mom." No.
Yeah. So it's tastefully done.
Big G's got my back tonight. I think I said Lorraine Bates by mistake, but it's Baines. B-A-I-N-N.
Baines. Patrick Hartnett. Yeah. Patrick Hartnett sends in a super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says, "Dave, please say nobody calls me chicken in a squeaky Michael J. Fox voice. Nobody calls me chicken."
I love it when he sees Doc for the first time here.
Oh yeah, this is great. He's got that big contraption.
Now this
on his
is
head.
a real location, because I see Adam the Woo go here.
Yeah, it's in LA. Here? No, I haven't. I think it might be in Pasadena. It
close
might
to
be
where they filmed, right? Halloween?
Close in. Yeah. Oh yeah. They filmed in Pasadena. I mean, that's where the Myers has. I'm not 100% sure this is in Pasadena, but absolutely, it's a real location. Now the interior is not the same. I don't believe. Okay. I think the interior is a. If I'm not mistaken, I believe so. Okay. But definitely the exterior. Yes, they definitely.
But see, the video that Adam did, the woman showed him where they filmed scenes, and they have still images.
Oh, maybe they
filmed scenes. I mean, it doesn't look the same anymore.
Maybe that's it then. Maybe that's it. I'd have to brush up on my Back to the Future knowledge. The Nut House says, "Dave, Jamie Lee Curtis or Mark Patton?" Mark Patton or Jamie Lee Curtis? For what? Just like who do I
clarify that question?
Yeah,
before I answer. It's like a
Jamie Lee Curtis or Mark Patton. In what sense?
It's like when someone asked me the other day, Danielle Harris or Scout Compton. Of course, I covered my ass and said, "Well, I'm always up for a menage."
Menage.
Hey, I didn't know what the question was referring to, so I was like, "I'm up for a menage anytime." Something like that. Something like that.
This doesn't work. Don't call me chicken. Doc, you gotta help me, man. Nick Townsend says, Dave and Tony, this is one of my favorite. Actually got to ride in a DeLorean as a kid. Very cool. I remember when I went to Universal Studios back in the early to mid 90s, they had the Back to the Future ride. Do you guys remember that?
Where you actually at Universal's?
You sat in the DeLorean and they had that big, it was like a hydraulic, thing.
That
it
was right at the time
awesome.
when Universal became like the thing. And they had the Jaws
ride. Confrontation, King Kong, Earthquake.
That was fun.
It's fucking, and all like practical in the sense of it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like it was old school shit, man.
It was old school amusement park type stuff. It was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun and really cool. Like really, really well done.
I always forget his dog, Pernicus. That's his dog's name in when he goes back, right? Pernicus is the name of the dog.
Something
Einstein's
like
in the future.
Yeah,
I
something
think
like
the
that.
dog past is Pernicus, if I'm not mistaken.
It might be. I like this when he starts, telling him things that
and who's the president?
He couldn't
Ronald
possibly
Reagan,
know.
the actor.
The actor.
Could you imagine being able to do time travel now and go back to 1990 to tell people Donald Trump's the president?
That would be a great.
That would literally be the best sequel to do for this.
You could totally. If they had the rights to do it and you were writing a Back to the Future remake, you would have to have that.
Absolutely.
You would have to.
Yeah.
That is a gigantic, because it works perfectly.
Yeah.
Even, and let's not forget that Donald Trump, he wasn't, he was, but back in the 80s and 90s, he would have been like, the businessman? You know what I mean? What? That Donald Trump?
I know, right?
The casino guy?
The flux capacitor.
Did the Nut House clarify?
No, I've been waiting for him to pop up to clarify that.
Maybe he will. Swifty the Gamer says, in Back to the Future 3, when Doc and Marty use horses to try to get the desires up to 88 miles per hour, what would have happened to the horses if that worked? Would they have burst into flames? Maybe.
Possibly.
It's entirely possible.
Robert Fidoff, do you guys think there would have been another sequel had Michael J. Fox didn't get Parkinson? I don't know. No. It's just like I said, this is such a complete story. It's like you just don't want to mess with it,
Yeah.
You never say never, but I just don't think these guys want to mess what they created, because you're never going to recapture this.
Yeah. You never say never. Tony's right, but Robert Zemeckis and again, I think it's Bob Gale, if I'm not mistaken, both have said from the very beginning, like even when Michael J. Fox was fine through the 90s and he was doing, Spin City and all that, they said, no, there's not going to be another one. So it's not like this is relatively new news. This has been out there for like 30 years. They've never had a desire,
And there's just no need. There really is no need to do it.
I don't think they know what else we're going to do.
Right.
And now it would be probably Michael J. Fox's kid, and it's just like,
who was played by Michael J. Fox in part 2.
That's right. That's right.
1.21. This is it.
Yeah,
I love this.
1.21 gigawatts.
What the hell is a gigawatt?
Yeah. What the hell is a gigawatt? Come on, Doc.
And then he's talking to the freaking pitcher like Thomas Edison.
That's right. Oh.
Available in every corner
drugstore. Yeah, I picked up some today. Actually, it's the one thing that's
it's funny though. I bet you
it's toilet paper
like
and plutonium.
1955. That
Probably.
What the future would be like. That the shit that people could get.
Oh yeah, people thought that that's what's going off the shelves: toilet paper and plutonium.
Toilet paper.
Holy Jesus. And I feel so stupid. Like, it was funny. The other day, I'm up at the grocery store, right? And there's no toilet paper on the shelves at all, except for like this one little 8-pack. And the
lone 8-pack.
But here's
the
what's
lights
so
are
dumb.
shining on it, and Dave's
Yeah. Well, but see, I genuinely need it, not because I'm not buying it because of the hysteria. I'm buying because I need some toilet paper. Yeah, exactly. So, but I felt so stupid going through the cash with my little like I felt like I was going to a car show with like a Honda Civic or something. Yeah, right. Like it's like, what are you doing? Like everyone's kind of like, oh, he's got that when everybody's got these. You know, I felt so dumb, and I'm like, yeah, I actually need this. You know, and that was all that was left, so I had to take it.
Yeah.
Fucking hysteria. Like, Jesus, toilet paper. I love this music. Bum, 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 bum. This soundtrack is great.
It is. It's one of my favorite soundtracks to listen to.
Yeah.
It's one of the vinyls I listen to easily once a month. I'm always listening to it.
It's great.
Great score.
It's
definitely up there with the original first Halloween soundtrack is one of my favorites.
Oh, the Nut House says that Dave McRae. This is irrelevant, but Jamie Lee's performance in Halloween 2 or Mark Patton's in Elm Street 2.
So who's better?
Very different movies.
Different movies, different types of performances. Great Scott.
I don't know. I mean, you get more from Robert Pattinson because Jamie Lee's really
Pattinson? I don't even think he was born yet.
Sorry, Robert Patton, I mean. Mark Patton,
I really don't think he was born yet when Nightmare 2 came out.
Mark Patton. I would probably say Jamie Lee, probably.
Yeah, it's two different performances. I can't really give you an answer on that.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Because Mark's performance, was really good, very strong. And Jamie was. If you were saying Halloween, see, because Jamie's performance really was just pretend like you're drugged up and walk down the hallways and limp.
Yeah, not a lot to it. Not
a lot to it.
No, I love this. How he's got the kick me sign. It's it's so
old school, like shit you
cliche.
Saw back in the day.
Yeah, he's kicking him in the ass, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Oh, come on, you guys!" It's so like a cartoon. It's great. You're a slacker.
I got to give you two your dream shot. I still can't believe it. Cougar lost it, turned at his wings.
Yeah,
I got to give you two your dream shot. I got to send you two to Top Gun. I love that movie. And that's every time I see him, I think of Top Gun.
I think of Back to the Future and Masters of the Universe. That's what I think of.
We're referring to the principal. If you guys aren't watching it at the moment, we're talking about the principal was he took the kick me sign off of George McFly. And
that's right.
The principal in Back to the Future, who's also Tom Cruise Maverick's commander on the ship in Top Gun.
That is correct. I love this.
So that's why I'm busting out Top Gun quotes.
Hi, how are you?
And guys used to do that back in the day. They would put their arm up on the locker and... I didn't do that in the 90s when lockers became a thing for my life, but I know that was a thing back in the day. Although in my locker in the 90s, I had like Pam Anderson, Yasmin Bleeth, pretty much all the Baywatch girls, Nicole Eggert.
I just literally had just Jennifer Love Hewitt.
And then Michael Jordan. Had a lot of Michael Jordan shit in my locker. I had its pictures on the front of my locker as well, too, because we would do in our school. We did the in and out. Oh, this is the.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah. Heavy. Why is everything so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
And this, of course, is obviously the big deep fake thing that's become popular now with Robert Downey Jr. and.
Oh, they did it with this scene?
Tom Holland. Yeah, this is the scene.
I haven't seen. I have to admit, I didn't watch it. I got to watch it.
And when you look at it, they really don't have to do much deep faking because Michael J. Fox and Tom Holland, they look a lot alike.
They look similar,
they really do.
Yeah. I have to be honest with you, though. If I was remaking Back to the Future, Robert Downey Jr. would not be my first choice for Doc Brown.
No, but Tom Holland would be for Marty. He would be my first choice for Marty. But I agree with you. I wouldn't go automatically to RDJ for Doc.
No, not at all.
In fact, if I were to think about it, who would I want to play Doc?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of someone
stories.
Johnny Depp could give me that kooky type Doc Brown character that you're looking for, but he might go a little too Jack Sparrow with it. You know what I mean?
I gotta be honest. I can't stand Johnny Depp.
No.
Oh
I'm trying to think of actors who are good at playing kooky type characters with a lot of, that'd be over exaggerated.
You know who would be good, who might be fun to audition? Just see what he does with it, because we can make him older. He's in his late 40s now, but you make him older, right? Like what they did with Christopher Lloyd. Is what's his face? It might be interesting because I think he might be able to do it and bring the passion to it. Matthew Lillard.
He'd be good.
I wouldn't mind seeing him older. I wouldn't
mind at least seeing
an audition.
Seeing how he plays off of Tom Holland.
Yep. Seeing the audition. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Make him older, obviously, because he's got to be older, but that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
That might be kind of interesting. I could totally see him doing it. He's got that, I could see that. I like that. Beth. Come on, Lorraine. Come on, baby. Come on. You want me to give it to you, don't you, Lorraine? You're my girl. I love the way he says this. Get your meat hooks out. It's so great. So what's it to you?
And you know what? If you ever hear them in the interviews, Wilson, who plays Biff, he had a hard time being the bully because he's really not like that in real life.
Right.
He had a very, very hard time. Like it was very hard for him to get to that point because it's out of his nature of who he is as a person.
Yes. Yeah.
Which really just glows in his performance here because he's very convincing as the bully.
Yeah,
make
I
like
that.
A tree. Get out.
I know.
Of here.
Make
the
like a tree.
Biffisms.
Get out of here. I love it.
Someone needs to do T-shirts on Biffisms.
I like when in Back to the Future 2, older Biff is like, "It's make like a tree and leave, you idiot."
Yeah, exactly. I love it how older Biff is actually smarter than younger Biff.
That's right.
It's like Biff matured and grew a brain through the years.
That's right.
Like, boy, what the fuck? I'm telling you, this house right here, I swear, is the house that PJ Souls walks up to in Halloween. It looks so much like it. If you look at the exterior front, when she separates from the girls, I'm not saying it is. It just looks like, and I know it's probably filmed in an area where houses in California all look the same. It's the same way here in Georgia. That's why a lot of my houses look very similar because everything was built with that same exterior.
A lot of the houses do, like when you're in Pasadena or when you're in West Hollywood, and you go down certain street, like it does look like that.
It's probably like not. And just it looks like the house that when she breaks off from the girls and Annie or Lori sees Michael from the bush. Yeah, it looks like it. I'm not saying it is. Edward Van Halen. I love it how the cassette tape says Edward Van Halen.
I am Darth Vader.
Oh, that's
of course, there was no such thing as Darth Vader.
No, there's no Darth Vader.
Toronto Freddy says, I watched an interview with Crispin on Collider. He said Bob Gale treated him terribly. He said that's not even him in Back. No, that's true. That's a misconception. Crispin Glover was not in Back to the Future Part 2.
No, he wasn't. Just face mold.
They used his likeness. Yeah. And I believe they used 50. Yeah, something they. Vulcan. Yeah, it's not him. He's only in the first one. Yeah, it was a big thing. He wanted to come back.
He did.
There was some, I forget now, but yeah. I overslept.
And again, the mannerisms of how those two played off of each other, how you can believe that Marty and George, because like how he said that right there, he sounded a lot like Michael J. Fox.
Oh yeah.
So you can see that like that father-son, like, oh, okay, you remind me of your dad.
I love how his shirt's untucked and everything. Like he's just like this. He's totally just. He's a mess. He's an absolute mess. I like how he fixes his hair all the time and.
Oh, okay. John Kavanaugh, both Halloween and the first Back to the Future were filmed in locations in Pasadena. So that's why I'm getting that Halloween vibe from the neighborhood scenes where Lorraine and George live.
Yep. Destiny brought
you together. If I ever said that
to a
girl, I'd probably get slapped.
I think he screws it up. He's like,
"You're my destiny.
You're my
density.
Density.
Density. That's what it is. You're my density.
That's it. You're my density."
She's like, oh, okay.
I mean, no. But then he goes. You're my density. I mean,
You're my
destiny. It's like, who the fuck is this guy? Get the fuck out of here. I love it. John Kavanaugh says, oh, yeah, it's what we just read. Yeah. Swifty Gamer says a lot of the houses are the same in Teen Wolf. That's true too. Yeah. I like this song
give
too.
Me a chocolate milk.
Yeah, that would be me. Give me a chocolate milk, and I'd put my hand out. That would totally be me. I love chocolate milk. Here it is.
Poor guy. He's nervous.
Density. Wait a minute. You're that fucking loser. That's basically what she's saying.
George McFly.
George McFly. You're that fucking loser. That's totally what she's essentially saying. She's got no interest in it.
I'll back George up on this. If I really like a girl, I can get nervous first talking to her.
Oh, of course,
you know
of course.
Like,
I'm not.
I will overthink it. I will.
100%.
I'm not saying I will screw up that bad, but I will be nervous like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I get it.
Especially at that age.
Shit, any age. Even now, man.
No, I know.
If I really genuinely like the person and I'm interested in dating them, I'll still get nervous.
Yeah. I like how he just kind of stands up.
Yeah.
He's much taller.
Like, ooh. And if you watch this scene with, in fact, Eric Stoltz's scene is there. The punch. The punch is actually Eric throwing. It's not Michael J. Fox. So
really?
He's actually still in the movie. Yeah.
Really?
Yep. The actual punch is not Michael J. Fox.
Now, why is that?
Lazy editing. I don't know.
That's interesting. But, I didn't know that.
I think the guy Wilson who plays Biff confirmed that was not Michael J. Fox. That was actually Eric who threw the throwing of the punch. And that's
very interesting. I'll have to look at that again. It's great. I love it. I love it.
Be humanly impossible what he's doing right now. Any skater knows that it's literally Hollywood at this point.
Yes. Robert Kitzmiller says, "What is Arnold play? What if Arnold played Doc and I?" Yeah, could you imagine? Yeah, come on.
Come on, Marty. Come on.
Oh yeah, come on.
Great Scott.
Yeah.
I can't do impressions. That's Dave.
Come on.
Yeah, give me Arnold 1.21.
1.21 gigawatts.
Get to the DeLorean.
Yeah, get to the DeLorean. Come on, get to the DeLorean, you know. Fuck you. Fuck you. Right into the manure. Shit. Yeah, that's great. That would suck. That would really suck.
It does sound like a John Williams score, but it's not.
It does,
but
it's not.
It really definitely has a John Williams feel to it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, it's Alan Silvestri. He also, I think Alan also did. Alan Silvestri works a lot with Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah. Yep.
I like how Williams works a lot with Spielberg and.
Well, when you've got that chemistry, man, right from Jaws, right from the get-go, it's like, man, that becomes your go-to guy because you're going to trust this composer to bring your film to life.
That's it. Yeah, the like Silvestri also did. He did all the Back to the Future. I think he did Forrest Gump as well, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I think too.
Discovers what happens. Kind of sucks knowing your own fate.
Wouldn't that be creepy watching?
Yeah,
that'd be so
It'd
creepy.
Be very creepy if I knew what my fate was.
Oh yeah, 100%. That'd just be so creepy. Just even seeing yourself older like that, like like seeing something that's happened that you have no memory of.
See, I've always said, or my interpretation of that scene when Marty walks in on Doc's already seen the shooting happen. In my opinion,
I think so.
I think that's why he ends up. It's not well, I know he reads Marty's letter and you see it at the end of the film, but I do think he knows what happens at this point already.
Right. I think you might be right. You might be right on that. Yep. You might be right. Can you imagine actually like?
Sorry, I didn't make it to scale. I love that. He's like, sorry, I didn't make it to scale. It's like this like perfect model.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Sorry to make it to scale. Like, oh, okay. Like you'd have time to do that. We're listening to this like we're in class. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us here, it's we're an hour and 10 minutes, 12 seconds into the movie here. Back to the Future. We're watching, celebrating 35. It's 35th anniversary this year.
Yep. Big
Hard to believe. Yeah, I was 6 seeing this at the drive-in in 85.
'84 and '85 were some great movie experiences for me. My grandfather in '84 took me to see The Karate Kid, changed my life forever.
Oh yeah.
Then I saw this. It's just, man, I take nothing away from what you young adults are getting in movies today, but with the comic book stuff. But man, I got to tell you, I still hold down the '80s was the best.
'80s was an amazing decade.
Original movies, you know.
Yeah.
You know, again, I have fun with the comic book movies, and they're fun to watch. But and I think the kids today will understand when they get to mine and Dave's age. You're going to have a very strong sentiment to your childhood, which would be all the Avenger movies and all that stuff like that, and you're going to feel that same way that I feel towards '80s films.
That's right.
Because this is our childhood.
That's right. Yeah, well, that's exactly it. It's often relative, and I feel the same way. I mean. It was a hell of a decade though, because
music and movies is so much fun.
Because it was an evolution of how you consume entertainment.
Yep.
And
very much.
We're still, even though technology's changed in terms of the visual medium and presentation, in terms of effects, the effects have changed. Nobody saw movies. We're still seeing movies like the Avengers and Marvel and all that. They're the modern day, blockbusters. Yep. Before the 80s, and thanks to Jaws, of course, 1975, there wasn't anything like that before. And it was a whole new way to watch. Like, movies became unbelievable adventures and unbelievable characters and so it's the same, but it is a bit different. It's just the OGs, when you look at the 80s and the late 70s, it's the OGs of when movie entertainment changed.
You don't get now what you got back in the 80s too. Great soundtracks, not just scores, but songs that accompanied the movies, and you would be hearing them on the radio, like Huey Lewis' Power of Love.
Oh yeah.
Top Gun had a bunch of hits off of that. Footloose had a bunch of hits off of that soundtrack. Yeah. I mean, a lot of 80s films had these, Breakfast Club also had great songs off their soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
You don't get that anymore with films today. You don't get a great soundtrack that you're hearing songs. I'm not saying all. I know there's some movies that do it still, but vast majority that type of thing is not as common anymore as it was in the 80s, and that's what made the 80s fun. Man, it was fucking great to hear, for the first time anyways, Dawkins, Drain Master, or Cooper's, whatever, the Mask song, whatever. You'd hear that shit on the radio, and now you don't get that anymore, and it's unfortunate, but it was also, it was a time that it was a fun time. It really fucking was. It was cool to come out of the movie theater, turn on the radio, and fucking bam, there's your song that you just heard in the movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree. Look at this guy hanging the laundry, doing a good boy deed. Big G says, I've said it before, 80s best movies and music. It is, man, one of the best. There's no doubt about that. There's just no doubt about it. No fucking doubt about it. Daisy McMillan says Christopher Walken as Doc. He might be a little too old.
Marty.
I don't know. Marty. 21. He would. It's exactly what he'd do. He'd be like, 21.1 gigawatts. Hello. DeLorean is there. Come on, Marty. Get in the car. Come on.
Heavy.
He goes, heavy. There's something wrong with the Earth's gravitational pull.
It actually would get annoying after like 5 minutes.
But then when you get serious, you gotta be like, Marty, come on. We gotta do this now. The amazing. Come on, Marty.
Juan Ron Man mentioned 16 Candles. I mean, you laugh, but dude, there are songs off of that were huge on the radio back then. In fact, what's that? The big one there. I have it on my 80s playlist.
You talking about the Breakfast Club? No.
Don't forget about me. No, I'm thinking of 16 Candles, the big song that came off of that.
I'm not sure. Robert Thidoff says, remember the movie, and thank you for the super chat, buddy. Remember the movie Firewalker with Chuck Norris? I don't, actually, but I'm always down for a good cheesy Chuck Norris film. Not to suggest that it's cheesy. Maybe it's not. I don't know. See, Christopher Lloyd here in 1955 is essentially himself, like his age that he is. Yeah. No, Marty, don't tell me about my fate. It can backfire drastically.
Oh, you know what I was thinking of? Not 16 Candles. I was thinking of shit.
What were you thinking of? Not 16 Candles?
No, it was this one here.
Aaron Click says the original Footloose had several hits. Oh my God, Footloose was great.
Footloose had
been working so hard.
I was thinking of this song from Pretty in Pink.
I
confused it. I thought it was in 16 Candles, but it's not. I was thinking. That's another big song that you
oh yeah, 100%.
It was on the radio. That was a huge song in the 80s.
Huge one. See, if this was Christopher Walken, it would all be, I'm not doing anything. I can find it.
Weather experiment. Of course, I can't do it.
I'll find it right here for you now. Come on.
Yep, there's Marvin Berry, Chuck Berry's cousin.
That's right. Yep. Hey, it's your cousin Marvin. I found something for you. Yeah, it's Michael J. Because it was Chuck Berry that actually sang the song "Johnny Be Good."
Johnny Be Good. Yeah.
It was actually Chuck Berry. For those of you that may not know, and I love how they pull like a little Forrest Gump here, long before Forrest Gump, about 9 years actually.
Yeah.
But I love that Zemeckis incorporated into the script that it's actually Michael J. It's Marty McFly who's really responsible for giving the idea to Chuck Berry. Marvin Berry, who then gives it to his brother or his cousin or whatever. Yeah. That's funny.
That's McFly is the reason why we got Johnny Be Good.
Marty McFly is the reason why we got Johnny Be Good. Yep, it's a good song too. Good old Chuck Berry. Shocking Poetry says Family Ties wasn't a hit show until after Back to the Future. That's true. Yes, it was modern. It was just kind of there.
Right.
Yeah, it was all right. It was just kind of there. But you're right. It was Back to the Future that people were like, oh, it's that guy, and then it skyrocketed in the Nielsen ratings. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's a very good point.
Well, because when it first aired, it was competing against Cheers, which at that point, Cheers had really found its stride. And it was like the #1 show in the country at the time.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
To go up against that was just like literally almost impossible. But he's right.
Tough.
When this came out, it took Family Ties and they weren't.
Oh, to the next level. Yeah. I agree. You smoke, too?
Yeah, you sound like my mother.
You're gonna sound just like my mother, Marty.
I love the look he gives her.
I know. It's like, what the fuck? All right. Of course, this is back in the day in the 50s and the 60s when high school dances actually had bands.
Yep.
When
we
I
had
was
bands.
Oh, did you? We didn't have bands.
In the 7th and 8th grade, and then by freshman year in high school, we did DJ.
Really? We did not.
Dances were bands.
No, when I was in high school, it was all DJ. Because they played all the modern hits, right? You know?
Well, because our junior high year was that transition where DJs really became a thing, and bands were becoming the end. You know what I mean? Because you got to remember, junior high for us is 91, 92, somewhere around in there.
Yeah, 90. Yeah. Sorry, listen, you're my mom. There's almost
I'd love to know how much. I know they shot for like 5 weeks, but I'd love to know how much of the movie was completed with Eric's version. Because I still would love to see what they filmed.
I bet you can find that out. Oh, you can certainly find that out. Yeah.
I would love to see that version of it, just to see what the difference would have been.
Yeah. What's so funny?
5 weeks is a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. What's funny about this is that he obviously doesn't go with the kiss, which is the right thing to do, which was the right move to make. Yeah. But what's funny about this is that, look, she's an attractive woman. And what's funny is that it's almost like there's a part of Marty that's like, my God, that's my mom. And she is good looking. Oh my God, this is gross. Do you know what I mean? Like there's that kind of thing in his head. And I like that. I like that. You son of a bitch. Let him go, Biff, you're drug. Big G, Super Chat, original choice for Doc Brown was John Lithgow. I remember John Lithgow being in the discussion.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, it would have been interesting. What would have been interesting? John Lithgow, yeah. I could have seen that.
It's no peep show.
Ain't no peep show. These street
and
toughs.
There's good old Billy Zane. Eventually becomes a douchebag on the Titanic.
Oh yeah, that is him too.
That's him.
Oh my God, you're right. Much younger.
He doesn't really have very young, very. Just goes to show you. This came out in 85.
So Titanic, well, they would have started shooting about. They would have started shooting in 96, 95, 96. So about 10 years later.
Years later, and he still looks young in Titanic.
He does. Toronto Freddy sends in a super chat. Thank you, buddy. Really appreciate that. Says, I remember when I was a kid, I would sit there watching Much Music. Much Music here in Canada, for those who don't know, would be like MTV in the States. Okay. They're watching Much Music for hours, anticipating when they would play the Dream Warriors music video. Now I can just watch it on YouTube. Just ain't the same, man. It's true, you know. It's true. There's a certain level of awesomeness that does come with having things at your fingertips, but a certain level of desensitization, and you lose sort of the charm of anticipation, you know, that excitement, that buildup. Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. It's like people just binge watch shows now, and I've done it too. But it's like there was something to be said about having to tune in next time, you know.
And listen to the radio station to record our songs because that would be the only way we could get it before the album came out.
Right.
You know what I mean? I remember sit there and just wait to hear the song. And sometimes you miss the intro and get like, you know, no intro, but you still got part of the song, you know?
Yep. I remember that. I remember doing that too, waiting for a song to come on. Yeah. Or calling and requesting it, and then hitting record on the.
Right. Yeah. And then me finding out later how that all worked when I worked in radio, that playlists were already pretty much predetermined. And calling in really doesn't do anything. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. There's also phantom calls as well, fake call-ins. Yeah. You know, hi, can you play such and such? And it's already going to get played anyway. Yeah. Sure, no problem. Bill, Lucy, Bill. Here comes the punch. The punch heard around the world. Yes, this is the moment. This is it. George McFly is going to do it. Yes. Yes, the moment, that's it. The moment that Lorraine knew. Lorraine knew that that's the man I'm meant to be with. Look, I love this. I did it.
Yeah, he's got such a goofy look on his face when he does it. It's so great. It's so great.
Michael Myers, have you seen The Invisible Man? No, I've seen the old one, but not the new one.
No, but according to bloodydisgusting.com, folks, this Friday, they're releasing The Invisible Man and The Hunt on VOD already.
I figured that much. I figured they're going to have to make up for the loss from the box office. Yeah. That movies are going to become available a lot sooner digitally. Yeah. They got no choice.
Yeah, they got no choice.
They're closing down movie theaters.
Yeah, they are. Yep, they've closed them down here too. So that's not a surprise. So
probably just going to buy it Friday.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to on Friday. Yeah, exactly. So I'll just be watching it this weekend or whatever. Watch both of them this weekend, actually. They make a good double feature right there.
There you go.
Hey, man, look at Marvin's hand. You know anybody can play guitar, man? I can. Hey, man, I can't play. Earth Angel.
I do like
Earth
this
Angel.
rendition
I do
of
too.
Earth Angel. It's one of my favorites, and it's really hard to find. If you can find it, you're you're doing
I
good.
agree.
I do like this version a lot.
Same here. I had the Back to the Future soundtrack on cassette, and I used to play this a lot. Yeah, I agree. The Horror Junkie 78 says, Dave, I'm worried. There's no more toilet paper. Nope. They're all gone. Everybody's just going to just wipe your ass with your clothes and then do laundry.
That's the new horror movie that Dave and I are coming up with.
TP.
No more toilet paper.
Yeah, it's called.
You thought Jason and Michael and Freddy were scary? No.
Yeah.
You haven't seen anything yet. The
TP.
Vanishing TP.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back to the bathroom.
toilet.
To the toilet. TP.
Someone's going to do skits on that on YouTube.
Oh,
I
and
totally see it coming.
You know, within the next 5 years, there'll be an announcement of a coronavirus major motion picture.
Yep.
There'll be a horror movie called COVID-19.
Probably.
It's coming.
I gotta tell you, man, when this is all done, the only time I ever want to hear Corona is, do you want a lime in it?
Yeah, exactly. You want a virus with your Corona? I know.
And the kiss that saves Marty's life.
The kiss that does it. Yes.
Will be mine.
Saved, ladies and gentlemen. Saved. They're all there, folks. They're all there.
I love that. He waves.
Yeah, it looks at his head, it waves. It's great. Now, they did use some of this footage for Back to the Future Part 2.
They did.
But,
and then yeah.
Right, but it's always usually, but George McFly, Crispin Glover's not in that movie. The actor himself. And of course, a variety of reasons. Chastity Smith says, in some theaters, I read they are staying open with only max 50 people in a theater. Yeah, it depends it would depend on your state, and it would depend on a number of factors. Here, the sort of the big theater chain up here in Canada is Cineplex, and they sort of have there's a couple of smaller ones, but they have pretty much the monopoly. So if Cineplex shuts down, which they pretty much have at midnight tonight, you pretty much can't go see a movie. I mean, there's a couple of other minor ones here, but it's like, I think Cineplex owns like 90% of the movie share, like theater share up here. So it's just like, that'll be it. And it's like, fuck. Boom, boom.
Rocks it out.
Fucking turn this shit
Again,
up
another iconic moment in cinema is this. Actually, there's a few moments in this movie that are kind of iconic in cinema.
Yep. And no, folks, that's not Michael J. Fox singing.
But he did play it. Because he can play it. It's just not his voice.
Right. Well,
now,
he's probably
playing, probably not, but he was really playing the keys in the
right. Yeah, he's probably not actually playing the song there. He'd be going through the motions.
The song there, like he's playing it, but he's just not plugged in. That's all. He's playing it like for real, but he's just not plugged in. Because if you watch him going up and down the fret like that, he's really hitting it.
Right. But
and if anyone knows the fret on Johnny Be Good, you can look and see he's hitting the right notes. You see how he's changing the key there? Yeah, he's totally. He may not be plugged in for real, but he's playing
he wouldn't be
as if he is.
Yeah. This is great.
Oh, Chuck. Your cousin.
I like how they need to emphasize that.
Yeah.
Chuck, it's your cousin, Marvin Berry. Just so you know, he's talking to Chuck Berry. So essentially, Chuck Berry just stole this.
Yeah. Yes, even
he
Jason,
stole it.
Yeah, any guitarist, if you play and you're and I've played a little bit, and I am not great, but I know the fret and I know the scales, and I'm like, okay, I see what he's doing.
Yeah,
he's right on as far as that goes. I love the reaction of the audience. They're like, what the fuck? And you're right. Your kids in the 80s are going to love this. Big time.
I guess you guys aren't ready for that, but your kids are going to love it. That's what he says. Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
And Slash was the guitarist, one of the guitarists in the 80s that made that style of guitar popular.
Right.
Slash from Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses. Yeah, he's the guy that wears a top hat, right?
And plays a similar type. Not the same, but a similar type.
Right.
Look.
Strickland. Yeah, it's a good line. It's a good line. Hi, Marty. George is going to drive me home.
Dave, Horror Junkie 78 wants to know, are you getting Star Wars Rise of Skywalker on Blu-ray DVD?
I will be, yeah. Yep, I will be.
I might get it digitally when it gets down to $3.99.
Yeah, I'm going to put it with The Force Awakens. I don't have The Last Jedi. I'm not going to buy that piece of crap.
I got it. I got it for $4.99. They had a sale for $4.99 on it. So I was like, whatever.
$4.99. Thank you, Marty. No problem, Dad. Just joining us here, folks. Back to the Future here, episode 61, Two Dudes and Bullshit. We're an hour and 31 minutes and 15 seconds into the movie. Just about another 20 minutes to go. Nick Townsend says, Tony and Dave, would you guys do a watch of icon 80s film Purple Rain?
Princess
Love that soundtrack. I'm not a big Prince fan, but you never say never. You never say never. Never say never. Come on, Marty, it's almost time. Or if it was walking, come on. Damn, where's that kid?
Damn.
Yeah.
2 seconds later, damn.
Yeah. Come on.
Damn.
Wow, where's the kid? Come on. Well, yeah. There he is. Michael J. Fox is only about 5'4", folks. They're back. They're back. Photographs. Look how small that photograph is in his hands.
No reason.
No reason. Interesting.
Yes, shocking poetry. Christopher Lloyd was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Great movie.
He was. That's a movie we got to do soon. Yeah, because that is a good movie. I haven't seen that movie in a while. But Jack Nicholson won his first Academy Award for that.
The only other time I've ever seen Christopher Lloyd in the Doc-like character, there's a great. I always laugh. I can't. I'm laughing now just thinking of the scene. There's this great scene in Taxi.
Oh, the TV show.
Driver license scene where he's going for the driver's license.
I haven't seen that.
The guy who plays Kaneki from Grease, like Jeff Conway, I think is his name.
Right.
Something like that. And he's like, I can't remember. He's asking a question and Kaneki's helping him. Yeah. And he's saying the answer to the question is to slow down. It's like, what do you do when you come to an intersection? And he's saying slow down. That's what you're supposed to. It's something like that. I know the answer is slow down. And every time, Christopher Lloyd is interpreting that, he's thinking that he needs to slow down asking the question. So he's like, what do you do?
Oh,
this isn't the line, but I'm just paraphrasing.
Yeah.
When you come to an intersection, and Nikki's like, or whatever his character's name was in the show, slow down. And he's like, what would? What does the yellow light mean? That's the question that he's saying.
Okay.
And he's doing it. When you watch it, you can almost see the birth of Doc.
That's interesting.
He's doing this.
And this is the TV show Taxi, right?
Taxi. Yeah. Just look up Christopher Lloyd driver's license, Taxi,
or whatever. It'll be there. Okay.
Hilarious.
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, Taxi was a great show too. Shocking poetry. Good old Jeff Burrows, right? Is it Burrows?
Great Scott. He's got to go and attach it up again.
Charles Burrows, something Burrows. He did Cheers. I know that. James Burrows.
Jim Dorsey says, I met Michael J. Fox in 2011. I'm 6 feet tall. His head reached my shoulders. He's insanely short in person. TV trickery has made him look taller. Yeah, he's only about 5'4". Put on a pair of shoes, he might get to 5'6".
See that he's short.
Yeah, he's very short. Yeah. Good Canadian guy though. He was born in Calgary, I think.
The definition.
Vancouver.
He has what I call the definition of a wife. Through sickness and health, she has never left his side.
They met on the set of Family Ties.
Yep. And that is someone who's going to stand in your corner no matter what.
Yeah, that's a beautiful love story.
Woman you want to spend your life with.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, she played his love interest on Family Ties. Right. Yeah. We're at the scene now where Doc Brown is trying to reestablish the connection before the lightning strikes the clock tower here. No, don't tell me. No. I want to die. Christopher Walken as Doc Brown. Dr. Splinter says, I know they know the minute the lightning strikes, but how did they know the exact second? Plot hole?
Hollywood. How you gotta kind of
I think
creating there's give and take,
isn't it? No, but doesn't it strike as soon as it strikes the midnight or the 10 o'clock or I think it's on the stroke of a certain time.
Oh yeah, because the woman at the beginning said at the exact moment the clock struck whatever the time is.
Right.
That's right.
So
right.
It's not it's not just it strikes at 10:15, but what second? It strikes as soon as it, for example, I know it's not 10:15, but for example, it'd be it as soon as it strikes 10 or 10:05 or 10 or whatever it is, or 10 whatever it is, as soon as it strikes that, the lightning hits it. So it's 0 seconds, I guess it would be it, I guess.
Yeah.
Shocking Poetry says Michael J. Fox once quoted saying his favorite comedic actor was John Ritter of Three's Company. I love John Ritter. Love John Ritter. Three's Company is one of my favorite shows.
When the kisses are hers
and his, Three's Company too. Come and shit on our floor. There's no toilet paper anymore.
Now, were you a fan? I mean, obviously, I love Joyce DeWitt as Janet. She was great. Now, were you a fan of the transitions from when Chrissy left to?
I was a fan.
Okay with that?
I liked Chrissy in seasons 1, 2, 3 was hit and miss because she was starting to become a fucking clown, and 4 I can't fucking stand her. And then 5.
She was exiting at that point.
Was she? 4. No,
she. You could tell she was checked out on the show.
Yeah, 4 was her last season, and then 5 she was there. She was in 1 or 2 episodes at the beginning of 5, and then she periodically showed up as the phone call because of the contract thing. But they turned her into a her character was so dumb. So dumb that there's no way you would leave that woman alone. You wouldn't let her take the bus. She was dang, dang, dang. She was that kind of dumb. But in part, in season 2, she was just a little naive. She was attractive, and she was just kind of, sweet, but maybe a little naive. But they turned her character into a fucking, I couldn't care less. I would take Terry, who they ended up with last, over Cindy. I think Cindy was just too. Yeah, I don't think what's her face there was. She just didn't fit.
Yeah, but in season 4, what I was saying, you could just tell she was really checked out on the show. Even with her playing the stupidity of the character, you could just tell the chemistry was not the same.
Was not the same. It's not the same. And a part of that could have been maybe how they. A part of it is what you're saying, absolutely. And the other part of it could also be that how do you deal with this kind of a character? How do you make it believable? She's so dumb. She was so dumb. I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Shocking Poetry, if all that up, who did you like better, Mr. Furley or the Ropers? That's good.
Two very different.
Tough.
That's
love the
tough.
Ropers, but Mr. freaking Knots as Furley, man, is great.
Knots as Furley was great.
Those eyes.
I know. He thought he was a big, woman magnet or whatever. Very different.
I I always felt the Furleys were inspired, an inspiration of, or they were inspired to use the Furleys, or they were using the Bunkers, Archie and Edith, as inspiration for the Furleys.
As sort of a
you can see that.
The Ropers, you mean?
The Ropers. I'm sorry, the Furleys.
Yeah.
The Ropers. Yes, you could see an Archie and Edith type dynamic with them. Sure.
Yep. 100%. 100%. That's tough, man. That's tough. I love me some. I know. Can you imagine? We're at the scene now where he's trying to pull the thing, and then the other thing disconnects. Oh, and he's got to get down there before that car comes. Well, that's a long stretch of road, and that car's not even there yet. It's a long movie magic, folks. Don't be an idiot, Doc. Plug it in and get down there.
Running out of time.
Running out of time, folks. Yeah, Furley was great. The Ropers were great for two very different kind of styles. But yeah, oh my God, did Suzanne Summers ever turn Chrissy, well, and the writers too, into such a fucking, like there's no way I would not continue to live with that person. I would not, like by season 4, I'd be like, I can't live with you. Like you are a hazard. Yeah, you're a hazard to myself and the apartment. Like, you're going to burn the apartment down. Like, you're so dumb, you're going to leave the stove on. Like, that's how fucking dumb you are. Like, you'll leave the stove on cooking and walk out and go for a run. Like, that's how, like, she was just dumb. The character was so dumb. She was much better in season 1, 2, and 3. Much better. I don't know why they turned it. There it is. The lightning is struck. It's coming down. There it is. Doc Brown would have been electrocuted. Boom. It's gone. There it is. He's sent back to 1985.
He ends up crashing into the movie theater, which is a porn movie theater.
That's correct. That's correct.
I don't even think those exist anymore.
It says XXX. Oh, they do. Peep shows? Yeah, they do. There's a couple. You'd get them in like New York. You'd have them in there. There's a couple. There's a couple in Toronto.
That I'm aware of anyway. Someone might correct me on that.
There's a couple in Toronto. There's a street in Toronto called Yonge Street. It's spelled Yonge, like Yonge, but it's pronounced Young. And it's sort of one of the main drags. It's got everything. That's where Dundas Square is, and there's strip clubs and peep shows and mall. It's just like a huge epicenter. And I walk by them all the time. It's like XXX. It's kind of, it's inconspicuous, but it's there. They're there. At least they were there. I mean, maybe they're not anymore. I don't know. Haven't walked by there in a while. I like this song too. Through the night. I like that song. And he's back in 85 because of the helicopter and the bum on the thing.
Everything looks playing on the little boombox.
That's right. That's right. What? You've got it. You've got the exact one. To that? Similar. Yeah. Very similar. Yeah. Crazy drunk driver.
Yeah, I never got rid of my boombox. I got that one. I got the one up there.
Nice.
I still have my Walkmans from back then.
I should bust out my. I still have my. Well, mind you, it's not from the 80s though. It's from the early 2000s. So it's not quite retro.
Yeah, but I was joking with everyone. Set props for my Jason movie is going to be easy. I got shit from the 80s all around in here.
You do. You have everything.
Really do. I got everything I need.
Yeah, you have everything. I'm gonna. I still have my Hi8 camcorder, but it's not from the 80s or the 90s. It's from the early 2000s. So it's not quite retro, but it's still cool.
Nope, there's the Libyans.
Yeah, he's got to get over there. He's got to hurry up. He's got to hurry up. Michael Meyer says, can you do a Two Dudes and Some Bullshit on the film Rocky? Yeah, we'll definitely do that. We have schedules, guys, that we sort of have to hit in certain times of the year, but definitely. Like, we don't just arbitrarily pick things. We try to match up certain things over certain times, and sometimes there's certain...
we know primarily we're always going to stick to horror, but, movies like this and The Goonies, which is another celebrating 35 years this year, we're going to do The Goonies at some point. We want to mix in these iconic movies while also, making sure we keep it to the horror stuff, because I know that's what you guys are here for.
That's right.
We love throwing in flicks like this, periodically, just to change the pace up for a night.
That's right. There are the Libyans. I love that he's watching himself, watching it happen. It's cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
And that mall's still there. I think Adam the Woo had like some type of meetup or something I saw there. Where
I think he did. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. I watch Adam the Woo from time to time. I like him.
I know that he loves this movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Adam the Woo's a cool guy. He's man. What a dude
I wouldn't mind meeting.
What a gig he's got. I mean, just traveling across the United States. I wonder if he's got his passport and if he'll do Canada, or if because eventually he's going to have done it all. Like he keeps going back and forth across, like,
these small towns now. How many small towns are there throughout the country?
Well, that's what I mean. He's done the U.S. back and forth, coast to coast, so many times. I wonder, of course, it never gets boring because there's always something new to look at. But I wonder if he's thought about doing up here or crossing and doing Europe. He'd have to have his passport, obviously.
Well, not right now. Nobody's traveling.
No, nobody's traveling right now. That's true. Shocking Poetry says Corey Feldman got the role of Mouth instead of his buddy Corey Haim. Yeah, that's true. Goonies, yeah.
Corey Haim did Lucas.
Was that in and around that time too, 85?
It's close. I have to double check. It's close. I mean, I don't think it's exactly, but it's very close to the age that they were at that time.
Interesting. Toronto Freddy says, Michael J. Fox from Edmonton, Alberta. Edmonton, not Calgary. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Zach Axiola says, have you seen the Aladdin remake yet? If so, any thoughts? I haven't seen it yet.
Well, Lucas came out in 86, okay? So it's 1 year after the Goonies. So it depends. Now, he could have gotten the role for Lucas and started filming in 85 because you have to remember back in the day, movies were made. It took like 9 months to make a movie, not like it is today. So it's very possible that's what he got the role in Lucas and Corey Feldman got the part in the Goonies.
Right.
Of course, we all know that the reason why Corey Feldman couldn't do Friday the 13th part 5, and he showed up for the cameo at the beginning of the film because of his contract to the Goonies.
Right.
And he shot that rain scene at the beginning of the film of part 5.
Right. That's right.
Corey Haim was good. I was more of a Corey Haim fan than I was a Feldman fan. Daisy.
Corey Haim, yeah.
She said that was her celebrity crush. I love License to Drive. It's one of my favorite 80s fun movies.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
That'd be a fun buddy flick to watch one night. License to Drive.
Yeah, it would be.
Such a good buddy flick.
Yeah. Back in Time. That's a Huey Lewis in the News one as well. Look at that. Look at that ass pose. Look at that ass pose. That's a great ass pose for Michael J. Fox. He's accentuating his right cheek.
Always got to get an ass in there.
So hey, there's your ass, Tony.
It's Dave tonight, not me.
Well, I was just showing you. Tiger Man says, Dave, what's better, H4 or Nightmare 3? What's better, H4 or Nightmare 3?
Oh, Paul. We got Paul.
Probably Nightmare 3.
In this movie.
Oh, did she say, oh, Paul?
She said, Paul calls me.
Oh, Paul calls me. Oh, Paul, I give you all.
That's the new tradition on the show, guys. If there's a Paul in the movie, we say
Tony and I busted out. No kiss, but please, my Paul.
Of course, Big G. License to Drive is going to be remade by chicks. I mean, it's. Yeah.
I love how his parents look here too, all suave and, put together and everything. I love it.
And the aging that they did on the prosthetics of both Leah Thompson and Crispin were great. They're perfect.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I agree.
Very believable. Not too much, just enough.
That's right. Yeah, they did a good job. What? The big date?
Yeah, I just saw that they're also doing a TV show of 4 weddings and a funeral. I'm like, is there anything we're not remaking or doing? Or, it's just, I'm just done with that.
You know what I would like to see, though? Is it's probably been halted right now because of everything that's going on, but the Back to the Future play, they have they have a stage play with all the music and the effects, and I would fucking love to see that.
I do want to see that.
That would be really cool to see. Toronto's got a big theater scene up here. I wonder if it'll come up here.
Yeah, one of the oldest theaters in the country, the Fox Theater in Atlanta. It's one
awesome.
of the oldest stage theaters.
Maybe it'll come there. That's right. Good old Biff. Now Biff's such a chump. He's their lackey. I got your new book.
I got your new book.
I know, he's such a stooge.
And it's weird how they don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right. Look at his. I love the picture on the back of the book. You just see it briefly, right. But he looks like such a nerd.
But it looks like an old book. Like you would see the author's photo on the back in the day.
That's right. That's right.
Now it's on the inside of it, right? They always have like a little one on the inside.
Yeah.
Of course, he's got his Toyota.
Yep.
I think that's the Tacoma, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
I think that's the 4x4
I said
Tacoma.
Jeep. Pickup, I mean. Yeah.
I could be wrong. I know someone's going to correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost positive that's the 4x4. Four-wheel drive Toyota Tacoma.
Yep, maybe, yep. Everything's great.
Oh, everything's
Ed! Marty! I need you again. Bring Jennifer. There it is. Right on cue.
Roads, where we're going, we don't need
roads. And it just flies. It's like,
yeah,
what?
Could you really imagine with the way, listen, people suck driving now. If we had the flying capability, forget it. People would be freaking crashing.
There's not going to be there will never be flying cars. Folks, there will never be flying cars. No. Okay? There will be self-driving cars long before we will be flying. Yeah, that's not happening.
Like, how the hell did you pass your exam?
I can't remember, obviously, because it was 85 and I was only 6. But like I said, I saw this in the drive-in. I wonder what my reaction was as a young boy watching this
I think we
movie.
All thought maybe one day it could be. You know, as a kid, we probably did.
But I meant, like, I wonder what my reaction was at this moment when it flew off. Like, oh my God, like, you know, is there going to be more? Or, like, I wonder what my reaction was. Probably excited, elated for what, you know, the next one was going to be. There it is. The wheels turn, and there it is. And ladies and gentlemen, that is Back to the Future. Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, Crispin Glover, and Tom F. Wilson. Directed by Robert Zemeckis, 1985.
Easily in my top 10 favorite films of all time. I mean, it's like
100%.
Yeah.
100%, man. That was awesome. Hey, guys, if you were watching along with us, that's always awesome and cool to have people watching along with us. Let's take some questions now for a little bit. And, I got to... I don't have long tonight, and my back's kind of sore. But let's go. It's because I've been sitting a lot today. I was working on It's Me, Billy stuff, and I just released another casting announcement today. By the way, for those of you that might be interested, we finally cast our third actress in It's Me, Billy. So that's exciting. I'll be talking to her tomorrow night. Yeah, so I posted that to the community section on Facebook and all my socials. So just been busy with It's Me, Billy. And of course, I've been sitting a lot doing that. So, but yeah, let's take some questions, man. What are the questions? What are the questions for Tony and I? Tony, 2 times.
Dorsey wants to see his hoverboard. Yeah, that would be cool. I wouldn't mind a hoverboard.
Yeah, although I hate that they called those things on wheels hoverboards, because I'm like, those are not hoverboards.
Like they don't hover right there. Yeah, that's not a hoverboard. It's a boosted board. It's an electric skateboard, but it's like, don't call it a hoverboard. It doesn't hover. It's got fucking wheels. Like, stop it. Stop trying to capitalize on 2015 and Back to the Future. Nick Townsend said, Tony or Dave, have you seen To Live and Die in LA? I have not. No, I have not. J Beach 12078 says, as always, that was a good time. Yeah, it was, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate it. Vanderhoff 66 Dave Vanderhoff says, hey Dave, have you Friday the 13th part 1 on locations DVD I sent you? I have it, but I haven't had a chance to watch them yet. I've just been a heck of a busy week, but don't worry, they are sitting on top of my little DVD player in my bedroom. I have a 60-inch TV in my bedroom. Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous, but they're there, and they are there for me to do that as soon as I get some time. Trying to figure out favorite. Tiger Man says favorite mission from GTA. I know that's your acronym for the Greater Toronto area.
Oh, GTA would be like Grand Theft Auto, like the game.
Oh, I've never played it.
Yeah, I don't know what my favorite mission is because I'm not that balls deep into it. I play missions and then there's a point where I'm just like, fuck this. I'm just gonna run around and shoot people and all that kind of stuff. So I have no idea. I'm not a gamer, so I don't really know. Gamer O Night might know though, because his name's Gamer O Night. How does Canada's border? Yeah, exactly. How does Canada's border closing affect your career and projects? That's a good question. Well, Canada's border is closed very much like the U.S. border is right now. We're not close to each other, but Canada sort of did the same thing what the U.S. did a couple of days ago, which is kind of close it to international travel in terms of abroad, like overseas. How does it affect me? Not a lot yet because I don't do, most of my clients are here in Canada and the US. I do have a few over in Britain, but there hasn't been anything crazy as of yet. I'm scheduled to go into a studio next week to do some national TV spots. And I haven't heard anything yet. I haven't even been officially booked for it. I auditioned for it a couple of weeks ago. They loved what I did. They want to book me. But I think the reason why I haven't been booked yet is because they're probably trying to figure out what they're going to do. Like, not that they're not going to use me, but do we bring him in? Do we have him do it at home? Do we delay it? That's what I think is going on behind the scenes. So there's a lot of that going on. I got an email from my agent earlier today about that kind of stuff. So it's just sort of, it really is, as Tony, I think would agree. It's really a day-to-day basis. It's a day-to-day assessment, really. And you just said there that, you lost a couple of jobs. So
yeah,
I mean,
I was working, because Atlanta was hosting March Madness, the Final Four this year.
Right.
And
right.
I was booked the whole weekend to work events and gone. Two weddings scheduled for because I make an exception for certain clients that I'll do. I don't promote myself as a wedding photographer, but these were clients that I've been doing work with. They've canceled their wedding in April and May. They've straight up canceled it. They're gonna do it. But that hurts a little. What's hurting me right now is what I would have done the weekend of March Madness, because I was working. I had events just lined up one right after, and it was going to be a really good weekend for me. But nothing I knew about it.
Yeah.
So
no, I understand.
The only thing I'm hoping that they might do for Atlanta, because a lot of people, not just myself, but vendors, there's so many people who are getting hurt by what they were going to be doing for work March Madness or Final Four that weekend, is that they'll give it back to Atlanta next year. I think in fairness, they should give it back to us.
I think they should too. I think they should too. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's crazy. I mean, as same with Tony, we're essentially independent contractors. So if we don't work, we don't get paid, and we're not on any sort of salary. So I only work when people book me for voiceover, and so if people aren't booking me for now, the unlike Tony, where he has to go out. I don't know if you have a studio set up there at home or not, where you. It's just that, yeah. So Tony's, all of his work is abroad. It's not abroad, but out and about. Yeah. And for me, the fortunate thing is that I have a home studio where I can record voiceover here. But that doesn't mean that the clients necessarily will go ahead with that. Sometimes people don't know that I have that set up. People do know I have it. Some people don't know I have it. So it's touch and go. So if things get really bad, I mean, it's not like that now, but if we were to enter some sort of literal apocalypse, I might be on here doing a show every day to get super chats and stuff.
Why
I'm not there, of course, but
and this is why I encourage young photographers of having a broad portfolio, because I'm losing work for video and photography work for the Final Four weekend, but right now I'm booming in real estate photography. It's keeping me busy.
That's
it's keeping, I'm going 5 days a week with that. So that's where they're having that diversity in my portfolio that yes, I'm taking a loss and I'm taking, there's no way real estate pictures are going to make up for what I was going to do for the final 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm able to at least sustain myself because I have that as well too, as you know, and I do that in this area. So now I've just really opened up the floodgates with the agents and have said, okay, let's, you know, you guys are it right now. You're my only, because I can't shoot events. Events are getting canceled.
That's it. That's it. Oh yeah. They're closing everything down. Yep. Exactly.
Houses go on the market always. Yep. So I should be good for a little while. Anyways.
Right. Exactly. J Beach 2078 says, Dave, with all this going on, how do you think it will affect kills and ends? Well, I think Halloween kills, I don't think it's affected Halloween kills at all right now. I don't even think, I mean, I think they're aware of it. I think they maybe have had some talks about it, but kills is still, kills is done. Yeah. So it's still far enough. It just needs to be released. So it's still far enough away that they have some time. Halloween ends is yes. If this continues, there is very little doubt in my mind that Halloween Ends will get delayed production. Yes.
I'm going to piggyback off that, and I want to know, in your opinion, if this thing carries into the, and I really hope it doesn't, but let's just say it does, and we're in worst case scenario, and this shit's still going on. By the time this was scheduled to release, do you think they'll go straight to a digital release if theaters are still closed down by then?
For Halloween Kills?
Because they got to make up their money for their investment. You know what I mean? If movie theaters were not opening up, how would you you got to make it somewhere?
It's hard to say. I think the market will dictate that. And what I mean by that is I think if other studios are doing it, then I think you might see sort of a maybe a bit of a trend that way. But it would have to be really bad for them to do that. I mean, to have theaters and everything closed for the next 7 months is almost unthinkable. I mean, it is like a movie.
You think that about 100 million people are about to die.
That's what I mean. It would have to be that level. It's not there yet. I mean, this is why we're doing all this, I guess, just to avoid that, which I understand.
I'm not saying literally the news is saying it. It's just
being. Of course, well, you know, the U.S. media is very cinematic in their, you know, very movie-like. So, no, I think Kills is safe for now, but I think Halloween Ends is going to get delayed. Yeah, I think that unless
the delay, if they shoot it late fall, you could have that late fall look.
Yeah. Well, they were going to start shooting in the next couple of months. So let's say they were going to start shooting in May. Let's say. Do I think it's probably delayed? Probably. We're probably going to hear something like that, but unless some sort of drastic turnaround happens, and in the next month, you know, there's a huge drop, and then people feel safe going back.
Folks, it's, you know, they could even go as far as to shooting it in January like they did with the 2018 film and still release it the same year.
100%. Well, and Bruce and I are monitoring it as well. I mean, you know, our plan was to launch our Indiegogo campaign next month, and that's still tentatively the plan. But with everything going on, we know that, you know, people might want to spend their money on other things and resources on other things. So we may have to delay that. Now, depending on how long we delay our Indiegogo campaign may in fact delay production on It's Me Billy. So instead of It's Me Billy shooting in November, it may get pushed to something like February. You know what I mean? Or something like that. I mean, who knows? I mean, that's not what we don't want to do that. Nobody wants to do this. I mean, even when you know, no production of any size or any, you know, whether you're, you know, the studio or, you know, independent.
That I can't work the final
exactly.
You know?
And but we're sort of, the good news is as well is that we are a small crew. We don't have a large cast. We would probably be, I mean, our cast is about 5. We'd have a crew of probably about 15 to 18. So, I mean, it's not, it's not
the gathering, right? Is it
right.
Like that?
Right. But it depends. I mean, not everybody might feel comfortable with that. And I mean, who knows where we'd be come November. But if, let's say we had to delay our Indiegogo campaign until, let's say, July. Well, by the time the campaign's done, it'll be like October. Are we really good? And are we really going to be ready to start shooting in November? Probably not. We'd probably need an extra couple of months after the campaign's done to, you know, to really get the pre-production underway. So my fingers are crossed. Bruce and I do have an appointment this Saturday to see our main location. That hasn't changed as of yet. So we'll see. It's a 4-hour drive from here, and we'll see, you know, but that might have to be delayed.
I've got enough to get me through March, but if this thing doesn't change, the people that I collaborate with on my photo shoots for the horror photo shoots,
right?
If I have enough to get me through March, but if I don't start shooting again, I'm going to have no content come April because, you know, a couple people that I work with, they're parents, so they've got kids, you know, and whatnot. Some of the final girls that I'm in, you know, and the guys have, you know, whatever, have, you know, other different types of obligations because now. So it could impact even my own personal social media where I'm not going to be able to create as much. If this thing carries on into April and May, I'm not going to have any content for a while.
That's true. Oh, it's true.
It sucks. Believe me,
It's
this
true.
whole scenario is just like, what the fuck, man?
Yep.
You know?
Super chat from Nick. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Says Rob Zombie never had DeLorean's permission to use his Rob Zemeckis, excuse me, never had DeLorean's permission to use his car. He never sued Robert Zemeckis, just personally thanked him for making his car bigger than he ever could have. Yeah, well, that's just it. I mean, the DeLorean was a miserable disaster. And
the thing always clunked out on people too.
Well, it didn't sell either. And sure enough, though, now, do you guys know if the doors going up like this, was that a Robert Zemeckis addition to Back to the Future, or did the doors always do that even on the DeLorean that you could buy?
Because there were a few cars in the 80s that could do that, and the DeLorean was one of them.
It was one of them, maybe?
I think the Ferrari Testarossa was one of the other. No, the Lamborghini Diablo, I'm sorry. The Lamborghini Diablo. I think the Testarossas went up. Lamborghini Diablos went out like the DeLorean.
Interesting. Super chat from DreadMem77. Thank you, buddy. Says, Dave and Tony, if you could go back in time and be any age again, what age would you want to be again and why?
I would say, I would say
That's a good question.
The range I would want to be stuck in forever would be between the ages of 11 and 13. I do find myself often reflecting in that time of my life because there were a lot of fun things that began to happen for me. Like, for example, I was getting to go to the movies alone with friends, first girlfriend date, you know, and trick-or-treating with friends alone. Especially I remember 11 and 12 and 13. Those 3 years were a lot of fun going out for Halloween and just being with your friends and whatnot. And
oh, wait, now we are. Now we are. No, we're back.
Are we good?
Yeah, I think we're back.
I don't remember where I got cut off at.
Wait, there we are. I'm not sure where you got cut off. For some reason, the stream dropped out on us. We're back. We're back. I'm not sure how long it dropped out. I don't think it dropped out for too long, though.
Well, hopefully I'm not repeating myself, but what I was saying is that between
say
the
it again.
ages
Sorry about that, folks.
11 and 13, it was that coming of age moment in my life where, you know, trick-or-treating was a blast with my friends and just doing all sorts of stuff in that age range. Because once you hit 13, like I said, things really change. Even your friendships begin to change with different people. You start meeting new people. You're not doing the same shit that you once were doing at 12 and 11 that you could still get away with doing kid shit. But by the time you hit 13, you're starting to get looks like you're kind of outgrowing that, man. You know what I mean? So if I could be stuck, it would be between the ages of 11 and 13. That was a fun 2 years.
I would pick probably about 17 to 21. I would pick my age 17 to 21, I think is what I would pick. My last years of, like, my high school years, like grade
high school in some aspects,
grade 11, grade 12, and then my first year of college, where my first couple years of college, I think I would pick that. I just liked, yeah, I just liked that time in my life for me. That or go back to, I wouldn't want to live there, but I'd love to go and visit like 86, 87. That'd be a cool place to visit. Yeah,
yeah,
for
it's
sure.
funny he asked that question because after I turned 40, I did find myself reflecting on that specific moment in that time frame between 11, 12, and 13. And as I see where people are saying where I got cut off at. Yeah, I was starting to go to movies by myself with friends and had my first girlfriend date, going to the movies. It's just, you're in that coming of age of innocence. Things were changing, but it was just, it was just fun. Music was fun and just life was good. And you didn't have to deal with the teenage bullshit that you were eventually going to get to. And like I said, as much as I loved the photography and video department in my high school, and we had one of the best in the States, and we had a great art program, I fucking hated the school I went to because no, I did.
I believe you. I believe you.
I was not a rich kid. I came from parents who did the best that they could, but we were not rich. And I went to, unfortunately, a rich fucking school where like, I was surrounded by Beverly Hills 90210, but I was not Beverly Hills 90210.
I understand.
Okay? I literally would have to fucking shop at like Goodwill, at times because my mom just couldn't do it. She couldn't keep up with the shit that, kids were getting, the Nikes, Air Jordans, that wasn't me back in the day.
Yeah.
So unfortunately kids could be kids and, you would get picked on because you didn't have all the cool clothes and whatever and what. And my school was very like image conscious. People were always like, dressed, like if you watch Beverly Hills, the very early episodes, not where it evolved to, but like the early years of 90210 and how they were representing Beverly Hills High, that was like my fucking high school. It sucked. I hated it.
Yeah.
How was your high school like?
My high school? First couple of years were a little kind of annoying. And then I was like in my first couple years of high school, I was kind of a chunky kid, and then I can't
picture that.
Yeah, I was, and then
you just look scrawny and skinny. I can't picture you chunky, dude.
No, I was a chunky kid, and then I'm certainly not scrawny, but I was a chunky kid, and then I lost about 35 pounds one summer. And I started working out and getting into shape. And then I had like a 6-pack and everything. And I was
like, who's this sexy mofo?
Yeah, pretty much. And then so I enjoyed, I think that's probably why I'd want to go back to 17, 16, 17, as opposed to 13, 14. I liked myself better, I think, at that age. And I liked sort of my friends and sort of, it was just it was a more enjoyable high school experience for me in the later half of high school than it was at the beginning half of high school, I think I'd say anyway. All right, we'll go for a few more minutes here. Let's see. You're on the man. You're on the man. I don't know. Says, I wonder if the times we think of as nostalgic feel that way in the moment, or do we only feel that way once it's a memory? No, only when it's a memory. Because you're in the moment. So, I think you can become self-aware when certain events are happening to you in your life, that that this is an important moment that you're going to remember forever. Like there's a lot of that stuff, but you don't necessarily have the nostalgic feeling about it until, 15, 20 years later. It's nostalgia is really dependent on perspective. And sometimes you need distance to gain that perspective. Daisy McMillan says there are certain arrays and of
eras.
You're right, because I have the mic right in front of me and it looks like arrays, but when I go like this, I can see what she means. And events before my time, I would love to travel back to in time to see. I agree. Very cool. Yeah, definitely.
And not change it. Yeah. You can never alter.
That's right. Can't change it, can't alter it.
Be there to witness something. There's only a couple events in time that I would want to witness. Titanic, I'd want to witness that. Obviously, it would suck knowing what the fate was going to be and not being able.
But you'd want to witness it from another boat. not on the Titanic.
I want to make sure I could totally survive, or like, I don't know, get.
So you'd want to be on the Titanic and then make sure you get off safely. Okay.
Get off safely, but never being able to tell people what their fate was about to be. That's what sucks about being able to witness, if you could do that, because you can't change, you cannot alter history.
That's true.
And Kennedy, I'd want to be there.
Yeah.
To kind of picking some morbid events, actually, because next one I was gonna say is Pearl Harbor.
A lot of death and destruction. Tony wants to go back and see, folks.
Crucifixion of Christ. I'm picking some bad ones here.
Tony's all about death and destruction. That's what's going on there. My favorite band's AC/DC, but
Motley Crue is my favorite band.
Motley Crue, there you go. Toronto Freddy says that Dave and Tony, have you ever watched the Netflix show Afterlife with Ricky Gervais? I have. I think it's funny, and it's got some heart to it too. Yeah, but it's funny. Yeah, I liked it. Oh, I love him. I think he's hilarious. We need more Ricky Gervais in the world, I think. Jason Knight says, I would love to go back to 1960 to witness Psycho in the theaters. Ooh.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd love to see. You see, but for me, it's all about like the reaction of people, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Would you like to go back to 1960 as if you have never experienced Psycho before, never heard of it, like you're living in 1960 and experience it for the first time? Yeah. Or do you want to just go back to 1960, see Psycho in the theater, and see everybody else's reaction to it?
I'd want to do the first, knowing that, okay,
the first one.
If I was given the option that I can come back to the future, but I can go back in time, my memory would be completely erased of Psycho.
Right.
I wouldn't know anything. I wouldn't know what horror evolved to.
Right.
No, fuck yeah, I would totally love that. To have
that'd
those
be cool.
Eyes and go, what?
Yes, exactly. To have that moment where you're just like, oh my God. Like, what the fuck? What's going on? Yeah, that would be cool.
Stories from my parents, man, where people were taking shower curtains off, in motels for the longest time, because that's how fucking freak they were.
Oh, yeah. No, you're bang on, man. You're bang on. You're bang on. All right. A couple more questions. Just take a couple more questions.
Sure.
You pick one there, Tony, and then we'll.
I can certainly do that.
I can
Josh John, which Myers?
Fuck you, man! Come on!
All right, so
Josh, that was not directed at you, buddy. Sorry, not talking about bad timing on that. Sorry about that, dude. Josh John asked, which Myers mask? Although it kind of fits, it's apropos. Which Myers mask is your guilty pleasure? Mine would be Halloween 4. Oh, fuck you, man! Come on!
Fuck you, man! Come on!
Mine is not.
Trick or treat, motherfucker!
No, my guilty pleasure Myers mask. You know what? Might be part 4, and it part 4 has.
Like that mask certain times. There's certain times I'm like, I like it.
The part 4 mask has grown on me. It's not a good mask. And it gets a bad, the bums, or a bad rap, I should say, not the bums rush, a bad rap because. Yeah, the bums what? Because obviously it's the immediate sequel. It's the sequel with Myers right after 2. I mean, it's kind of like, so it's and it is a bad mask. It is. But look what you're comparing it to, but I think. Yeah, but I think it's grown on me over the years. There's certain moments where I'm like, oh, it looks okay there. It's still creepy. It's a creepy mask in and of itself. On its own merits, I think. It's just where it came from in terms of the actual sort of, what you have to, you go from 2 and you go to 4. It's like, what the hell happened? You know what I mean? But I don't like 5, and I'm not a fan of 6. And so
I'll let our small group be the first to know, including you. I am probably over the summer going to do a photo shoot with the Wilbur mask, with the 4 mask. I'm planning to do that.
I need an audience reaction here.
So that's definitely that's going to be the next version. For now, it's just going to be those two, the Halloween. I know Halloween 2. I always say Halloween 2 mask, even though I know it's the same mask, with the look of Halloween 2, and then the look of Halloween 1. That's what I'm going to stick with. But I think by the summer is when I'm planning to do my first reveal of the Wilbur mask on my Instagram.
Very cool. Very cool. Super chat from Sweet Tea.
Halloween 4 Wilbur mask, just to be clear, not Halloween 6.
Right. Gotcha. Yep. For the channel, my friends, be safe. Well, thank you, Sweet Tea. Really appreciate that. You too. You too. Yes, she is. Absolutely. Be safe out there, Sweet Tea. We need that tea to be sweet.
Fellow Southerner.
I don't know where I was going with that.
Because I know she's commented on a few things that are down here on mine that I'm like, hey, you're from the area. If you know what I'm referring to.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Absolutely. All right. Two last ones. One for me, one from you. Okay, we'll take one here. Let's see here. I see somebody I haven't got yet. Somebody, or at least somebody that we don't hear from too often. Let's see. Go back.
Vanderhoff, you should send me the Halloween 4 mask so I can do it for the photo shoot and give you the credit.
There you go, right there. There you go. What the hell? We'll do Vanderhoff. Hey, Dave, if I sent you... if you sent me a Halloween 4 mask, would I display it? Yes, I would. If you send me a Halloween 4 mask, you gotta send one to Tony so he can do a show. If you only... Exactly. If you only have one, send it to Tony. No, send it to Tony. Send it to Tony so Tony can do a shoot with it.
Because I can always contact the guy who made these two for me and ask him to make.
But it's got to be a good. Hey, it's got to be a good Halloween format.
It's got to be
like you got to look at me like, whoa! Now that's
feel like they're looking because I have ideas.
There's a lot of crappy ones out there too.
A friend of mine who's got a girl who's about the same age as Jamie. Those who follow me on Instagram know I had the Jamie clown costume made for me. So I've got a lot of things I'm going to be doing in photo shoots with that version of Michael. So yes, the mask is very important on how I want it to look, and I'm not doing fucking trick or treat shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no. Yep. I say no, thanks.
Yep. No, 100%. I agree. Okay, so that question was sort of. I guess we both kind of answered that. Yeah. Let me see here. Are we still? Yeah.
Well, here's a good one. Here's a good one from Michael.
All right, this will be the last one tonight.
Sure. You want to take one more, and I got one more.
All right. Let's do that.
All right. So here's mine. From Michael Myers. Which Michael Myers do you think is the most dangerous? You want to go first?
Okay.
I already know my answer.
The most dangerous Michael Myers. Well, again, define dangerous, right? Like, are we talking about just dangerous? The most one that you would have to. Well, I would probably say. The most dangerous Michael Myers. Dangerous. I take this too seriously. Probably Rob Zombie's Michael
Why
Myers
so serious?
Would probably be the most dangerous, I would say. Probably, but I don't know. It depends on what the bar is, right? It depends on what's the defining measuring stick for dangerous, right? You know. Yeah, you go ahead.
I would go with Nick Castle's the original one. And the reason why is I talked about this, I think during our last Halloween movie watch, whatever one we watched the last, I can't remember what it was now. Which one did we watch last? 4?
Something like that, yeah.
I can't remember now. I think it was 4. Anyways, whatever stream it was, but I mentioned how the way Michael's character is and how he stalks and he gets closer to his victim. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He toys with them, one of my favorite scenes that we don't talk about much, but I love how the scene is shot. I love the lighting of the scene. I love how the pacing, the beat meaning like the tempo that Carpenter set to give you this sense of like suspense, like shit gonna go down. And that's Annie in the laundry room and Michael's behind the door looking at her and the door slowly opens.
100%.
I fucking love that scene. And again, you think he's gonna kill her, but he doesn't. He's stalking his prey. And I think that's a personality trait of what defined who Michael Myers was. And
100%.
We went away from that.
100%. Yeah, no, Tony is bang on. I think that's why I said what's the measuring stick for dangerous, because it can be different depending on what you're talking about, right? I mean, Tony is bang on. There is no doubt that Nick Castle is probably the most dangerous in that regard.
In full mode.
Right.
He's that fucking predator stalking his prey, man. And that to me is fucking creepy because you don't know when it's going to happen, you know?
See, I think the reason why I fell to Rob Zombie's Michael Myers, because when somebody says dangerous, I think when they don't elaborate, and I'm not suggesting that you meant this or thought this, but in a general sense, when people said the most dangerous, I think they tend to sort of mean, that can, kill you fast, or, that you're not going to have a chance to get away, or you're not going to have a chance. He's too big, he's too strong, he's too this, he's too that. And I think that's why I think people kind of think in those terms. And that's why I was like, well, what do you mean by dangerous? And I was like, well, if you mean in a general sense, it's probably Tyler Mane. But if you're talking about, see, Tony's talking my language. Right. You know what I mean? When he talks like that, I say, yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that if you want to talk on sort of a stealth level, and you don't see him coming level, and in the unknown shadows, and dangerous in that sense, it's the insidious nature of Michael that, he is the most dangerous, 100%. The
payoff on Annie's death is one of the best, because the build up to it, I mean, not just the laundry, that's but when she's on the phone and he's there behind her and then he's gone, you know what I mean? All that build up to leading to Annie's kill, it's just so well done. And just, that's Michael. And that to me is more dangerous than some big broody guy coming at me. And again, that's I'm not who played Michael and Rob Zombie the way Rob Zombie did. Not. It's just two different versions. And Tyler is more intimidating, fucking dangerous, whereas Nick played it as this dude's fucked up.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Okay, last question of the night, folks. Last one. Here we go. And it says, Josh John says, if you're stuck inside and you have to binge watch one horror series, which would it be? I'm stuck inside, binge watch which horror series? I would binge watch either Friday the 13th, because they're very binge watchable.
They are. They're easy.
Friday the 13th movies are easy watches, and they're very binge watchable. Or I wouldn't binge watch Halloween.
No,
Halloween's not binge watchable to me. I mean, it could be, but no. Friday the 13th is binge watch. I'd binge watch. Did you say 2, or just no? So which one horror? Oh yeah, watch it. Would for me it'd be Friday 13th. Would be Friday 13th for you?
Before you exit, there is one question that I wanted. This was the one I was looking for, and it's from Chastity Smith.
Okay.
Can we take this as the final?
Sure, let's do it.
Final bonus question.
Final question. Final bonus question.
Dave and Tony, as far as your careers, if you had one ultimate project to accomplish or complete, what would it be? I wanted to. This was a question I wanted to ask, because I thought that was a really good one.
Well, it would be the feature film that I have been in development on for 20 years now, essentially. Port Robinson Road. Yeah, it's a movie. It's based on true events from my second year of college. It's a supernatural. Yeah, that's right. I said that. Supernatural sort of. There's horror elements to it, but I wouldn't classify it as a horror movie. It's not like, Texas Chainsaw or Elm Street or something. It's not that kind of horror. It's not a slasher. But it's a mystery thriller drama, I guess. And based on true events from my second year of college. And it's I think it's a really mature, interesting story. And when I say mature, I mean because it deals obviously with the college age group, but it's not like, fart jokes and sex. And I mean it's a really interesting. I don't want to give too much away, but it's a I've written the script. It's a feature length script, but I'm always continually polishing it and tweaking it and all that kind of stuff. But it's a film that would cost a lot of money, and not a lot of money because of effects, but just a lot of money because, I mean, it's probably like a $4 or $5 million film. But it's something that, if I only make one major feature in my life, of course you always hope to make more, but if I was to only make one, that would be it. And that's a personal project, right? Because it's based on true events and it's personal to me. So I think that would be it, at least off the top of my head. Tony, what about you?
Mine's the direct sequel to Friday the 13th Part 2.
There you go.
I have never been so charged to do something, and I've been obsessively now for the last month watching Friday 1 and 2. Even though we just watched Friday 2 the other day, I watched it again over the weekend because I'm studying things, and I've got so many photographs of the campground of where I'm going to film this at, that, you know, I'm putting together scenes. I went up there on Sunday and just took some shots, and I'm literally like, I was there by myself. No one was around. I'm literally talking to myself and just talking out a scene. Like, and I've never been like that towards anything else. I mean, I'm like that with my photos, but with this, like my commitment level, even if it takes me 5 years to complete this, I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to fucking complete it. But like, I can feel that like passion inside of me. Like, this is like what I've been wanting to do, and no one's going to fucking stop me. And if, you know, people hate it, they hate it, but I just want to do it to say, you know what?
100%.
I fucking did it. Even if it's not well liked, whatever.
Absolutely.
I did it, you know?
Absolutely, man. No, I agree. Absolutely. Kevin Bacon's boner super chat says, have no fear.
The boner is here.
Yeah, the boner is here. And this is a great way. Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, he's there. He's there. He's rocking the boner. And this is a great way to go out. He says, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the super chat, by the way, Kevin Bacon's boner. Have no fear. Wipe your rear, ladies and gents. That is going to do it.
That.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to do it. Episode 61 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. I want to thank everybody who watched the show tonight. Hope you're staying safe, ladies and gentlemen. You're cozy in your houses, watching Netflix, staying out of the coronavirus's path. And Tony and I will be back next Monday at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for episode 62. And yeah, it is. It's going to be a good one. Going to be a very good one. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time for episode 31 of McRae Live. Tony, any last words?
No, this was a great stream. You know, I said at the beginning of the night, sometimes a good movie like Back to the Future, when the world's kind of going crazy, is what we need to just kind of escape reality. And this was fun for a few hours tonight, and enjoyed hanging out watching some Marty McFly with you guys.
I could not agree more, man. All right, folks. Good night from Toronto and Atlanta. Cheers.